faith, like sort of a belief in your own abilities, you know. So it's like
believe in
also see
oneself.
that's
Okay.
crossover with confidence as well. But
Yep.
I extended it also to like say children, like or a baby, you know, and like their ability or their faith in their ability to produce results for themselves. So like also like so crying, you know, like
Question: What
that
happened to
produces
Josh? He
results.
left.
Like I don't know why he left.
Okay. All of a sudden, I came back. I'm like, he's gone. I'm like, all right, what happened?
He left like right when you left.
Okay.
Maybe he's having some issues.
Maybe.
Wait, let me see if he texted me.
Yeah. All of a
He
sudden, I just
was gonna be going to bed at one point, but
okay. It just happened to be perfect time because, like I said, I came back. All of a sudden, I'm like, what happened? Like I had problems. I'm seeing if it'll work now.
um
I just reset the modem. Let's see if it fucking works.
I don't remember exactly how I phrased the whole self-efficacy difference between confidence, but it does it's not necessarily action specific, but like result related. You know, it's not action related, but result related. So like if you have
You have to have
the ability
confidence.
to produce results like or whatever through whatever means, then you have like high self-efficacy. But then confidence would be the ability to perform specific actions which are required to produce results. Yeah, obviously, yeah. Confidence is like your personal power, dude. If you don't have fucking confidence, you're fucked.
Also,
Well, I have
if you don't have
confidence.
confidence, you
Yeah.
have no fucking usually self esteem, and then usually that's when you start getting depressed and having all the negative side effects of all that.
Yeah. So faith is more spirit based, but I can place my confidence in someone. I can place my confidence in, well, let's see, not Biden and not Trump, Obama. I can place my confidence in Obama to run the country. Well, whatever. I mean, he's not a good
No,
example either because he dropped more bombs than
confidence is
anybody
more
in
evidence
history.
based than just faith. Faith is evidence or believing something with no evidence, and confidence is having you could have low confidence. Like that's what I've been trying to stress to people when I debate them, argue them. Like you should like your conviction of should be what you know. Like if you know 100% of this topic, you should have the highest conviction. If you know like 10% of this topic, you should tell people like this is what I
Yeah.
think and know, but it's very little and have a little less conviction. You know, and preface your beliefs and
Okay,
stuff. You know.
so
And we say levels of confidence. We don't say levels of faith. That isn't. Faith is usually wishing.
Yes,
It's
that's what I'm
usually
saying. It has no,
it's
you don't need evidence. Faith is no evidence based.
but you see, confidence is so like like as far as like being a faculty or like a general like folk psychological term or whatever. It has like it's 100% bound in with like what I was saying earlier, self-efficacy, except it's action related. You know, like I'm confident
yeah.
that I can do this or that, but it's also like effect related. You know, when
There's
you
a
think
lot of things.
about
You could be confident you could fly.
when you think about like being confident toward women or whatever, like you can either
Yep.
be unconfident in your ability to produce results or unconfident in their like you know their likelihood to be receptive to your actions. You
I
know,
would say it comes down to
so
confidence in yourself. Like if you're gonna hit on a chick, like the people
well,
that hit
of
on
course,
chicks
but
and
it
get
can be
them,
both things.
it can be
Yeah,
somewhat.
I have no, I don't have confidence in women. That's my problem. I know what I can do. I don't believe that they're, you know, a lot of times, not in general, but when I'm at my worst or whatever, when it comes to women or whatever, in my thinking or mental state, I just don't think that they're shitty, not me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like
I have
a couple.
confidence. Your confidence
It
as
goes
a
both ways.
gamer,
As a gamer,
Mm,
and that you can
oh, did I
create a
not choose my fucking dude?
no, dude,
yes.
you're being picky and choosy.
I don't like this. Nope. Fuck Lord Rax. Fucking weird.
I'm gonna try one more time without. Hopefully, it won't be lagging. We'll see.
Oh, I bought Sidra recently. I might use her next time.
Sidra.
Okay, let's see what we get. Yeah, Sidra's pretty cool. She's kind of mid tier or low mid tier.
I almost got enough to buy a pimp character. I got 62,000 coins.
Oh yeah.
I just cut my hair on my own.
I think I used Syndra
Nice. Nice.
last time. I liked her. Her cannon shit's cool. Yeah, I got full bars now, so there you go. Now I
It's
got
fucking
perfect internet.
glare.
Nice. Nice.
So now it'll be different. Now
Oh
if I suck,
shit.
it's just
Yeah.
me.
Excellent.
As it should be. Got him.
You take this.
It's so hard to get right.
Oh, I can hold that in midair. Oh no, I can't. Never mind.
God damn the range on that shit. Like whenever I'm fucking playing him, it's always like an inch off.
Yeah,
Fucking
the
hitting
fucking
somebody.
lance.
Bro, it's just
So
like your wiener
annoying.
game. Just getting always an inch off. God damn it, you fucker. Fucker.
I should have thrown my weapon.
I
whatever.
did try to throw my weapon.
I said I should have done that, but you should too.
I did, but I just was too late.
It's too late now.
Okay.
Damn, yeah, this weapon is freaking fun.
Are you the chick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or the other chick.
Yeah. Not the white hair one.
Let's see. Yikes. Oh, what
You
the
stole
fuck? Why
my
don't I just
kill.
jump right into the fully charged?
Yeah, it's hard to look at all the fucking sword for that. Shit. Cocksucker.
Yes! That's my down special. It goes up. It's so weird.
Oh, dude, my light is super glary. Oh, shit.
Bitch. Ah. No.
Like the sword better.
Oh no.
No.
Get out of here. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, dude, I had so the right idea.
I don't like his guns much.
I fucking can't stand that guy, dude.
I don't like his guns. I like his big fucking thing, but not his guns. Don't.
Oh, I should be in the air. What am I doing?
What? Oh, you hit the edge. That was
Mm-hmm.
weird. Weird.
Oh no.
Ah, the fucking lance.
That's not my name, bitch. Boom. No,
Lance.
God
That's
damn
the
it.
way you do that.
Damn it. I
Get out
fucking-
of here.
Oh, I know 2 lances
I
actually.
done fucked up. All right.
That's what you get for taunting.
Oh, there's a taunt.
He
Oh
was
yeah, you
dancing.
taunt with the numbers, by the way, if you ever want to be taunty.
If you want to get
Taunt,
taunty.
I can't play this game on
What?
keyboard. I'm not a fucking alien like you, Patrick.
I
Fucking
can't do it on the keyboard. I have to grab
autistic alien. No, I'm just kidding.
It's funny people describe being autistic as being an alien, and that's become an identity as well.
Well,
apparently.
I do think that there are varying degrees of autism, you know. So, like, you know, like there are the fucking people with autism where they still can't speak even as adults, you know. So it's like
I
hard
don't, know,
agree.
I don't know. I think when we think of autism as both a disability and a disorder, and also just a different way of being in the world, which is what the autistic community is saying now, then it begins to lose its legitimacy. But then you look at Temple Grandin and whatever's going on with her, she definitely has the autism, and she's an
Yeah.
advocate and outspoken about it. But she also talks about how it's become it's become warped over the ages.
What if like the extreme autists or whatever were like in a stage where they're like cognitively exploring in a sense, and they just got stuck. Like they just lacked that. I don't know, but that can't be true. There's no way that these kids just get stuck and just don't get reached by their parents. That seems a little weird, but I think it's stuck in their own brain in a sense.
What do you mean stuck?
Like through like I don't know how to explain it. Like just exploring or sort of like I shouldn't even say exploring, but like sort of like think about like just the way that they relate. So like like the autistic people that can like count the number of gumballs or whatever, the fucking gumball machine, or they drop like or like a bunch of fucking I don't know toothpicks are dropped on the floor and they count it in like an instant or whatever. Like maybe
Does that mean they're autistic or they just have that as a skill?
Well, right, but then they have deficits that usually go along with that. Like you think about Rain Man, So I don't know if there's a developmental like branch they went down in a sense that led to them developing these capacities rather than the social capacities or what. I've never thought I was autistic, and I never even considered it until fairly recently, to be honest. And that is because I looked at the Temple Grandins as, the actual autistic, and then, then you think like the Asperger types, which I don't even know what the fuck Asperger in particular fucking presents as. Like I've seen
that is autism. We just changed the name
right.
because of the racism or because of Nazis.
But there was a term like indigo children for like children that were just like advanced or whatever in their cognitively advanced in a sense, like they use big words and blah blah blah. I don't know.
Then you're talking about measuring intelligence, and we also have controversies with IQ and measuring IQ, saying that's not a good thing to do. But I think there is utility in that. I think that this current amalgamation of 86 billion neurons conceives of the possibility that the intelligence is a factor, that processing speed, if that's what intelligence is the ability to hold information in your head and process that information and receive it and process it quickly. Or if that's IQ, then that would make therapy more effective. And I'm pretty good at that. This collection of brain cells is good at that, and I think that gave me an advantage when it comes to CBT, whereas other people might struggle more, and that worries me. Like that's determinism as well, where we're saying that some people just won't have it as easy. And what happens with that is that they enter the victim mindset more readily because they're struggling naturally more than others to activate the same kind of therapy. It's the exact same good therapy that should be used for the specific condition that we're diagnosing in two different people with different IQ capacities. And so one person would have it easier than another in that way. And so that one person that's struggling more would give up easier because their IQ is lower. But you also got to be careful because that sounds like they're saying they're too stupid.
Intelligence is malleable. That's like the main thing. And I think like the more you think your intelligence is fixed, the less, malleable it is. Shit. Wait, I thought that was me getting knocked off. I was like, how? I just got back.
Yeah, I definitely think it's malleable. My intelligence or IQ processing speed definitely increased when it comes to the psychedelics that I took, or the microdosing, I think.
Yeah, weed definitely helped me get more confident and examine a lot of shit. Oh my god. Dude, Reno is a son of a bitch. I'll tell you what.
He's really fun.
I don't know if I like this bitch's axe.
Oh, body.
Yeah, I gotta be in the air with this guy against you guys. Like, that's one thing you gotta pay attention to is like
Characters.
what are the matchups? When is it better to be in the air against those characters?
There's a lot
you
of
know?
things, dude. I bet this
With
game,
the-
like, if you want to get
the
real technical.
Oh yeah, yeah. The axe is definitely an air combat weapon, though.
Is it? All right.
Yeah, it's way better to use the axe in the air because you get that full circle swing that you can do a backswing with. That gives you a huge advantage.
Yeah, it's all diagonal, so you gotta really get your distancing right, your spacing or whatever.
Yep. Oh fuck.
Yes. That's a gravity cancel.
Son of a bitch.
That's a.
That
was good.
I would have loved that.
Future special.
It's fucking sending you in the abyss.
The fist.
The fist of the abyss.
Hmm.
You son of a bitch. Oh, what the fuck am I doing? Jeez.
Getting high, literally. Oh,
Yeah, Reno's gravity cancels are really good.
Oh, we just hit each other there.
I know.
That's like the first time I've seen two characters hit each other at the same time. Oh, you son of a bitch.
Boom,
mean to do
bitches.
that.
Oh.
Again.
Oh no, I'm out of here, bitch.
No.
Ooh, big circle. Oh, big circle again. Boom.
Oh.
I told
Damn,
you.
I had a
that's how you
chance
do
too.
it.
You're yellow. I got my ass kicked early.
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 Did you see that we passed the Trump tax cuts for all the rich people? We're probably gonna lose Medicare here soon.
Oh boy.
Can't
Fucking
wait for that.
retard ass motherfucker. I'm so sick of this shit. Oh, tariffs will take care of it. Yeah, let's tear.
That
Let's
is,
tear.
that's his idea. We'll see what happens. I
Countries
guarantee
that
it
are
won't, but you know
fucking
what?
horror. It's
How
so
does that even
fucking
add
dumb,
up?
dude.
Like, what are we
It's
gonna?
not gonna work.
How
They're
do
just
you
gonna-
tear up for
ahead.
healthcare? What does that even mean?
No, well, my mom
Tariff to
said,
make more money
I
in
don't,
general, but yeah.
so take this with a grain of salt. She says that they're gonna replace the income tax with tariffs, and it's like, dude, it's literally exploitation on the fucking like global stage, you know, on the international level between countries.
Well,
instead of-
again, so I mean, really, the whole so the thought process is in general that you save people money to spend more money later because those products are going to cost more because of the tariffs. So, like, if you don't pay taxes, right, you theoretically save money, but then you're going to spend more of that money on the goods you buy. So, really, it's going to be exactly the same as we were before. That's what people don't realize. Even if
Well,
even
it's
if
gonna
they
be
were
worse.
it is no. I'm saying I agree. It is gonna be worse. But I'm saying
Yeah.
but even if they get what they want, which is that, like, okay, we don't pay income tax no more because of tariffs. Cool. Well, now you're paying more for the goods, so like it's almost like you were just getting taxed like you were before. It's not much different, you know.
I don't like that.
I'm just saying, like, even if they win, they don't really win like they think they win.
Oh, it's all winning to them, man. Don't matter what.
Well, it's owning the libs for sure.
Yes.
I saw that.
Just winning. We're winning even when we're losing.
Well, yeah, as long as
Dude,
somebody
the
else
amount of
has more than you.
overconfidence that's coming from this is just ridiculous. I can't believe that we're in the state that we're in right now.
Our
Did you
confidence
see
was set.
Elon Musk with the chainsaw?
Yeah, stupid shit.
Right. It's like we're gonna cut through the entire.
He's idiocracy. It's the guy
Yep,
with the gun.
this is-
It's
we're
the same
entering
thing.
idiocracy.
We are.
A lot of people are using that as a metaphor for what's happening.
Yep.
and
It is because
Yep.
it's kind of true.
That's for good reason. But we also could be
That's a bit-
entering Brave New World. So it's like both. I
Could be.
think I think it's both. In the psychiatry
read
realm,
that.
we're numbing people doing the abandonment route or the avoidance route.
You son of a bitch.
We're
Well,
definitely doing that with people with pills, while we're also doing the freaking idiocracy and modifying everything into oblivion and making people stupid.
well, yeah, you got to get rid of the part in education. You got to have dumb people voting.
That's right. Because wise people do not make good cogs in the machine.
Nope.
Boom.
Get out of here.
Oh.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
God damn it. You fucking do that shit like clockwork.
No. Oh, I canceled that. No, fist.
Get
I got
fisted.
fisted. Yeah, for a fisting.
Have you ever heard of the band Five Finger Death Punch?
Yeah,
I don't even know what that band sounds like.
What? Yes, you
it's
do. It's like
sound
any-
alright.
It's on.
I
any-
heard
it's
they're bad, but
They have, I mean, some all right songs, but yeah, they're not that
but
good.
I'm the underground guy, so
It's fucking formalist. Conformist, like the fucking people in South Park.
Oh.
Conformist. You can hold that move down. I just learned that.
Did
Oh,
you
wait,
just
I haven't
commit
won yet.
suicide?
I thought that was last of the game.
I was just like, did you just commit suicide?
Oh, whatever. Now we're even.
Yeah.
I like a lot of different sounds. That's why I like metal, because it has so many different sounds.
It can, yeah.
Need.
What do you mean it can? It fucking does. I know it does.
I mean, I guess
There's a level.
anybody could argue that I guess technically all music sounds.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of course, rap has a lot of sounds. I'm not even gonna fucking dispute that. But
yeah. I mean,
That was also
only thing that sounds the same is pop music, because it's all 4/4 or whatever.
country, yeah. Well,
I'm just saying
there's
pop in
dude.
general.
Even with 4/4, like you can get different sounds.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, hell yeah. That's the majority of music
Yeah.
in the West
Yeah.
is for
Almost all of it is.
all genres. Yeah, rap too.
Yep.
Well, it's
rap,
like
rap just
there's
samples.
no reason to
They just take old music
go
and
into
make
odd
it
time
modern
signatures
or
if
upbeat.
there's if 4/4 does it, you know. But then there's like other
Oh,
even
fuck.
signatures.
Fuck me.
You bomb. You bomb you.
If shit's a bomb explosive.
Nothing to it. But yeah, you can do emojis with the right bracket key.
The
Oh.
right bracket
Oh.
key.
I don't know what that would be. What? Maybe the D-pad. No.
Or it says it at the bottom of your podium. You can do that in the character selection menu too, and you can unlock a lot of different emojis by playing the game, or you can also buy them with real human money, which I would not advise.
Yeah, so play the game. I have to unlock characters
I'll,
first. Emojis don't matter to me.
Do they take
so
Gold
important.
Press Platinum?
Huh?
It's
Well,
funny
that's
that's a factor in Star Trek, but it's not really
What?
like they don't explain it. Gold Press Platinum or just money and
Oh.
the fully automated
Well, it's
luxury
like-
space communism.
It's like the Federation has no money, but then why does Latinum have weight in like the Federation? I don't know. I guess it just gets you Ferengi goods or other goods. I don't know.
They trade like there's a lot of references to trading rarities or trading rare items, which is cool because that goes back to the original fair trade, like actual trade instead of
Yeah, the
a
barter
stand-in for
system.
traded items. Like the barter system.
The barter system.
That's why I don't like money, man, because it's just a stand-in for what we used to have, which is just trading cool shiny objects and resources and goods and services. But reality is too complicated now, and we're increasing it with technology. The superorganism of technology is alive, and it is deciding the world for us, as is our own language. It is expanding like its own superorganism. These are theories.
Mm-hmm.
Bitch.
Then Brandon comes in and tries to steal both our kills. Fucking asshole.
Ridiculous. Good swordsmanship.
I was a fencer in high school.
Oh, really? I
No.
did fencing once. That was
I
fun.
never
Oh, okay.
have. That would be
I would
cool.
enjoy it, but I would like a more like brutal weapon.
Like a
But
fucking,
not like
like a
Man,
mace.
yeah, but not like obviously like not hard or in any way.
Oh,
Like
you just want to be a
fucking
fake
American
tough
Gladiator
guy.
type
I
shit.
gotcha. Fake tough guy. Like I don't really want to hurt him. I like the idea of it.
That's why I use raw power rather than agility.
Ooh, we need both, Daniel-san.
Fuck off!
yeah, sure.
Fuck off!
No.
Oh, thank you. You saved me.
Oh my god. Horror shit.
Damn. Yeah, good combos. That's how you use
I'm
that
getting
bow.
it. Yeah, dude. The bow is good.
Ah, did you see that?
Yeah, I did. Oh no, I killed myself
caught it.
watching it.
Ah.
I committed suicide. Regicide, suicide, whatever side.
You committed sewer
Ah.
slide.
Sewer slide. Sewer surfing. Dude, I love that sewer surfing song from Turtles in Time.
Turtles in Time.
So fun, dude. It's just so positive. Dude, I fucking love Turtles in Time,
That was
dude.
a good game.
I still gotta play Shredder's Revenge.
Oh, that one's hard.
Good.
I got it on my
I want it to be hard.
on fucking my whatever PlayStation. It's free
probably
on the
like-
store.
Oh, on the PlayStation Store? It's bullshit.
If you get, I think it.
Oh,
That was nice. I think you might have
Ooh.
to have the premium one though. The premium package.
Son of a bitch. I don't have a PlayStation,
Oh,
unfortunately.
tell Josh. Just kidding.
Dude, I haven't had a PlayStation since PS1.
I knocked both of y'all bitches. So long, gay boys.
Oh, where am I? Oh.
isn't that from Mad TV?
No, that's from fucking
No,
Hangover.
that's from freaking Community.
It's from Hangover.
Oh, it is. Oh, yeah, that's
When he-
right.
When he's like, Mr. Chow Elise is like, so long, gay boy. It's,
Oh, yeah.
I'm Mr. Chow. Our dog is a white. Can we quit with this white and black dog shit? That shit's so funny.
Bitch.
Well, she is a woman, so I guess it fits.
That's true.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
I seen that live.
goodness gracious.
God damn. No, 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 no. I got a chance to win. No. No. Nope. No. No, don't stop fucking up, Brandon. We can do this. Oh, you son of a bitch.
Heal, don't think. Use your instincts.
Oh, wow.
Get outta
You
here.
fucking did
There you go.
Piece of shit.
That was good, dude. That was heated.
That was heated.
Intense.
You heeded the
Fucker.
Jedi code. Well done.
Dog, you use the you use
I
the
had to
dark
go
side of the force there.
I better pick somebody good. I'm using Red Raptor. Just FYI.
So the skull guys. All right, I'll use my chick that I bought, Vivi.
Oh, you bought
VV?
V? Hell yeah.
She was my first character I bought.
All right. Yeah, good choice.
Good
The
choice.
freaking Poke Floats. I don't want to get Smash Bros. So bad. I don't want to wait to get this game.
Switch.
I know,
2.
dude. I would so play that
Mhm.
with you guys.
That's such a fun game.
Just
So
gotta
is
wait
Mario
for
Kart.
Switch 2, hopefully in August or so.
Yeah, just another half a year or whatever the fuck.
Well, you know, it gives you time to save, plan for it.
Much else to do.
Because the thing is, honestly, there's no, like if you, why would they make a game now new? You know, like they're gonna have a whole new system. I guess I don't know.
I hope it's August, not
Gotta
later.
get this combo
Well, they're
down.
supposed to. I think next month. I think or so. They finally announced. Oh shit! I forgot who it was.
You guys are good
Oh,
on
that's
around, dude.
cool.
Not a good matchup for me, I don't think. Oof.
Oh wow! All right. Also, it depends on the board too. I feel like sometimes too.
Yes.
Ah, god damn it.
Oh no!
I
You
gotta
got
be-
me too. Right
I
there.
gotta be eyeing the whole damn battlefield.
behind enemy lines.
Ooh.
Jeez, I'm getting fucked this round. Oh,
Nice.
fuck are you? That was nice.
He's
I'm offended.
I'm not a big fan of the sword here. Yeah, then I mean I guess maybe I should be in the air with the sword.
I don't know how to
There we go.
fucking. I gotta figure out how to do those combos and the
God
kicks.
damn it. Whew, come on now.
Fucking silly.
God damn. Like all your fucking attacks are just fucking instant.
Yeah,
Instant
pretty
dash in,
ridiculous.
man.
I told you to pick somebody good. Yeah, all the new characters are on a different tier. That's something that's
That's what all
Noted.
games are like now because they want you to buy.
like the last 6 characters that have come out are
Oh.
on a different level.
You know,
Although the new Chakram lady, Priya, is pretty balanced actually. The very latest character, she seems a little bit more modest.
Yeah, the small platforms with this guy, definitely not.
Ooh, get the air combat, boy.
God damn. Fuck, man.
see, how do you keep kicking and going when you're doing that?
It's
Ooh.
Do you have to aim
it's
down?
over. Yeah, it's over angled or over diagonal. So over quick attack and then diagonal quick attack over diagonal over diagonal over diagonal, and then you follow up with here. I'll show you
Mm.
one of these. Then you follow up with that. Oh, there you go. Touch.
Ah! Ah! Son of a bitch! I tried.
I tried.
Tried so hard.
That's sweet.
Dude,
Yeah, I'll keep fucking with this guy.
You try to fuck on me? I'm gonna be Thor. Thor.
Thor. God of Thunder.
Mm-hmm. Thunder. Feel the thunder.
Where the fuck is Meech? The beach?
Republicans.
Yeah, what about Republicans?
His name is fuck Republicans.
Oh
It's
yeah,
hilarious.
I remember you were talking to him in the
Mitch.
other. Discord.
Yeah.
You're like trying to like preach to him in a sense.
Oh, totally.
And then
Well,
he's
I was trying to be nuanced, but like also be like, yo, how are you
yeah,
seriously choosing the name?
he's gotta calm down a little bit, but
I tell him that shit all the time.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
How has that name worked out for you when trying to convince other people to think
He
differently?
doesn't. He just
It
bitches.
doesn't work because they just hear you
It-
saying "fuck
It
public."
enriches them, is what it does.
He just likes to talk shit to him, which I mean, so I guess his version would be the bully, the bullying style.
Yeah, that's about as bullying as it gets.
You know.
Kill
mean,
all Republicans.
Yeah, he could have. It could have been that, which is
No,
apparently
he
okay
has had that.
to
He
get
has
this
had
now.
that. Kill
Oh,
all
really?
Republicans.
God.
Yeah.
What an extremist!
What an
That's lovely.
extremist.
Fucking Mitch, the extremist.
Thing is, like, if you actually talk to him like normalish, he can be not extreme, but then he goes off in the tangent.
I
Yeah.
know.
I think
That is
that's
what
why
it seems
Patrick was like, "Oh," when I said that's Mitch.
You know.
Oh shit! Fucking goddamn it, man! I'm fucking up.
Committed suicide, bro.
I just did. That make you happy?
I mean, it wasn't me this time, so I'm happier that it
You
wasn't.
happy that I've? Oh my fucking god, dude! That chick is just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's the feetsies. I keep using them too.
Ah, dude. Yeah, the fucking air combo.
Oh no!
Oh no, I missed you! Fucking
yes.
hey.
Ah, there's so
Totally.
much fucking range and just
I just
like
committed
everything
suicide
fucking.
too, if it means anything.
I don't.
Ah, you son of a bitch! You son of a fucking bitch! You better
Yeah,
not
it's
come to fucking
way to stay
Minnesota.
above me.
You better not come to Minnesota no more. You are not welcome in my beautiful state.
You shall not taint my state. Your presence. State tainter.
With your hillbilly Tennessean.
This game is
Dude, I'm so
definitely
ready to get the fuck out of this state, guys.
yeah,
Oh my
skill
god.
cap.
What?
I can't deal with the accent anymore.
This game has
I've
a
tried
really
to
high
look
skill
past
cap for
it.
sure. The range between a scrub and a fucking. Well, there's probably so many different fucking levels, like tiers of skill in this game.
Dude, there's billions.
Oh
of-
yeah,
Oh shit! Why did I do that?
the tournaments are nuts. The tournaments are like Smash Bros. Tournaments. It's
I
just
bet, dude.
holy shit. What am I looking at?
How many is it at 4-on-4 still during tournaments, or is it like 6-on-6?
Well, tournaments are 1v1
Oh,
usually,
okay.
but oh, sorry, I'm self-congratulating. I'm exclaiming at my own
do it all
victories.
the way, man. Do it all the way. I don't get salty with games anymore. You gotta have a little bit of friendly shit talking.
Right.
It's part of the fun. Ooh, oh.
You can recover. You can recover.
I
God.
can't. I tried going the long way around.
You can do it. You can do that in Smash Bros. Too on the Final Destination map. Somebody did the giant map. Alright. Let's see. Axe battles.
Have you ever met Tucker?
I could be a super shitty character.
Have you ever met Tucker?
You know who Dan Crenshaw is?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
The far Republican with
Eye
the
patch boy.
Yeah. So he did an interview with this dude, and then after the interview, so it's the mic. He thought the mic was off, so it was a hot mic they call it. He just said like, if I ever meet fucking Tucker Carlson, I'll fucking kill him.
Mhm.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. He must obviously they hate each other over something. I don't know what specifically, but I'm gonna guess because if I were to guess is because Trump and all them are being pro fucking goddamn Putin, and it's blowing up like the old school Republican people. They don't like that. Like I was saying, dude, like
I always thought of Crenshaw as more conservative, right, or traditional conservative.
he is, but he's an anti-war guy, and he doesn't want fucking. He doesn't want Putin to fucking just run. Because, like I said, if you study history, if you give Putin Ukraine, it's just going to lead to World War III. Because you can't appease a dictator like this.
Yeah,
like
absolutely not.
You're
Yeah.
going to give him more. He's going to take more. He's going to take. So I think the people that's smart with history understand this.
We gotta be anti-war if we're anti-anything. But yeah, I mean, I haven't thought about that enough. I would like to see Ukraine give up at this point,
Give up,
or at least just find some negotiations. Like,
but
just try to work
they're
out
being
these
cut out of the
problems.
negotiations.
Russia's like
Trump did
lost
Trump negotiated with Russia
Ukraine,
by
right?
himself without Ukraine involved.
Right.
That's fucked up too,
I
right?
remember that.
Right.
Like I'm the one that has.
Yeah, they just had a UN meeting about this where the people that were talking about being in favor of continuing the war, or they're being in favor of Russia winning the war was North Korea, another nation that starts with an S, and also the U.S.
Saudi Arabia? No.
No, it's not Singapore either. Fuck, I forget.
Damn, I was doing good, and then I got fucking tossed.
Oh no.
Cool.
I feel like in general, Ukraine is the people that have to deal with it. They should dictate what the fuck they want to do. I don't know why anybody else should tell them what they can and can't do in their own country. Like,
Definitely agree with that.
I use the
But they
analogy.
also
I use the analogy of if a home invader comes into my house and tries to just steal my shit, and then you negotiate, and you have to negotiate giving up a fourth of your house to them because they invaded you or whatever, took your shit. Like, that's not fucking right.
Right.
So, I mean, obviously everyone wants no war and shit,
But
but
that's
the thing
yeah,
is, the
metaphor.
people, somebody's aggressing on them, but they weren't the aggressors. That's the whole point. It's like I said, somebody comes in your house.
Right.
If someone comes in
He's
your house
losing a
and
lot
takes
of
your shit, you fucking have the right to defend yourself, right? I mean,
Yeah, so I would say, I mean, not to, I like that metaphor. I just, when I hear metaphors when it comes to politics, I gotta be careful.
that's
Or,
fine.
I get red flags.
That's fine.
Because it's like we're talking about the lives of millions of people instead of just a family
Yeah.
in a house. But
I know.
it's just so depressing. Like, I'm so sad to see how many people are dying in this freaking war.
It does suck,
And I
but
just
again,
want
my idea is again, Russia is the one that
Oh.
went into their country to do it. So it's like, what is
Yeah.
Ukraine supposed to do? Just be like, here, take my land, no, and my resources and everything. Like they shouldn't be forced to fucking have to concede that.
No, they shouldn't.
Like honestly, if there was a real good like actual negotiation, they would force Russia to pay like I don't know $50 billion to everybody or something. Like, dude, you guys fucked up, dude. You guys try to take over a country by itself, or like you don't get nothing. Like they should not get 1 inch of land, nothing, dude. That's like I said to me, that's like giving Hitler fucking the property of Poland and shit. Like, dude, this is gonna lead to more because this guy's never gonna have. It's never enough, He's going back to pre-Warsaw.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he'll die too, though. This is
God,
why,
I
like,
know. But
really.
it's like Trump.
I
Though.
hope
I'm
he
not gonna
just
rely on
dies.
Trump dying.
Yep.
Like I get it because I don't know.
Imagine how it's gonna be like it.
I don't know how old.
Imagine
Putin
how
is.
you.
Oh.
Like he's probably getting the treatments
God damn,
to
I'm
extend his
fucking.
lifespan.
You guys are kicking ass right now.
Imagine like, so have you seen the show? What's it called? Altered Carbon. Chat.
Altered Carbon? No.
Like first
Altered
6
Carbon, where
episodes, maybe?
there's the freaking Methuselahs, which are people that can't die because they've bought the life extension therapies,
Okay.
and they become major world leaders, or they become huge political influencers,
Yep.
and they hold a shit ton of power because they just continue. We're going to be seeing that not too far from now. We might actually see the first people to live forever in our lifetime.
Yeah, maybe with
And
the
so just some-
Neuralink and shit. Yeah.
Hopefully.
See, I
Yeah,
don't.
I'm
I
planning
don't.
on-
I think people live
Mind
forever,
uploading?
but it's not gonna be your body. It's gonna be the. It's gonna be just your brain.
You're planning on it?
No, I'm not planning
Patrick?
on it.
You're gonna do
Yeah,
it? Yeah,
I do
I
wanna
kind of am
do-
too, but
Don't plan on it.
I
I mean,
bro.
I'm
I won't be
scared.
rich enough.
I
but-
don't think. I don't. I think maybe like my kids' kids will be those people. Like
Also,
Dude,
it wouldn't
you gotta
be
realize
the
how
extension
fast
of this
technology is.
generation. It would probably be the cryogenic freezing because the improvements on cryogenics are getting a lot better now. It seems.
yeah, but
Volkio
dude,
is
honestly,
really
so
fun.
like, would you want to live in like a 60 to 80-year-old body your whole life? No, you probably want to live in a fucking either a robot that's a perfect body
yes, so,
or a young person and get it downloaded to their consciousness or something like that along those lines.
so the
Why
argument
don't
would
we
be
keep
that
nanobots?
once you get brought back 200 or 500 years in the future, they're going to have the technology to bring you back to your youth. We already kind of have that now. We're seeing a lot of mouse and rat studies where they're not only extending their lifespans, but they're going back to the healthy bodies of
With the reverse
younger.
age.
And this is
Yeah.
what Brian Johnson is doing as well. He's kind of doing he has the, what is it? The testosterone and the sexual drive equivalent of an 18-year-old, and he's 45.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a lot of other he's the most measured human apparently on the planet, and he has a team working for him to really see how far we can maximize on the life extension, and
Oh,
he's
wow.
essentially reducing his age in many factors. He can't fix his hair, though. That's funny, but there's other capacities that apparently he
Gray
can
hair,
really reduce.
balding.
He has grays. He just dyes his hair, but yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
I mean, but the assumption is that when you get brought back, this is such a cool topic too, but also terrifying. When you get brought back, ideally you'd be able to reduce your age back to what you were in your youth. But also, have y'all seen the anime Dr. Stone?
Mm-mm.
So Dr. Stone is a story of this cool teenage scientist that saves the world after everybody's been frozen in stone. And they have to wait in stone over 1,000 years to get brought back to life by the tears of a bird of some kind. And
Good
So
fucking
he,
god. Fuck this map, dude.
I know. I didn't pick it. Did I pick it? Maybe I picked it.
You always
I don't
pick
know.
it. You're a liar.
I know,
He's like,
I don't
"Did I
remember
pick
where
it?"
it was.
I don't pick shit.
I forgot, honestly. So with Dr. Stone, the way that he bitch. Oh,
Oh my
Oh!
fucking okay. Oh my fucking god,
Yes!
dude. I'm just not
I threw
fucking
my
in
weapon
it
up.
now.
No, I threw my weapon up and I hit you and I took your recovery away. So anyways, Dr. Stone, he survives being frozen in stone by doing math problems for 1,000 years. And another person survives by reflecting on his lost loved one and reflecting on the love that he had for her. And so that might happen if you're cryogenically frozen. You might have to, like, there might be some kind of consciousness that you actually wake up in that period, and then you just have to wait and entertain yourself for, hundreds of years.
Fucking solve every problem ever. Like,
Yeah, but you
a
wouldn't be.
priori.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean-
assuming you wouldn't be conscious while you're waiting that 100 years, right? You probably.
Well,
be
we don't know
asleep.
that you wouldn't come back to consciousness. So we know that people in a coma can become conscious and be able to hear and think and all that.
Mhm.
You can't move your body. So we don't know. Oh, shit. We don't know how that's going to be for people that are cryogenically frozen either. Ideally, there would be ways to test for that, but we're not at that point. But I mean, I'm still willing to take that risk. I like to think that my mental fortitude could handle that.
Yeah,
But I mean,
me too.
I don't know.
I can get myself.
I'd rather put up with that for that amount of time to be able to live for another 500,000 years or so. I don't want to live forever, but I just want to see what happens.
I think that there's more to this fucking universe than we even know. So I'm also
Of
kind of
course. Dude, we
optimistic that there's something else afterward.
So we just got to save up for, is it 70 grand for the full body freezing or 30 grand for just freezing your head?
That's not much.
I honestly
Yeah, that's
don't
not too bad. I can do
Like,
that by the end of my
what's
life.
a funeral cost? You know?
know. 5, 10
Right.
grand.
Bitches. My goodness gracious. Y'all are playing really well tonight, I gotta say, gentlemen.
Oh, Wally's fucking playing well, man. Or
Because my
yeah.
internet got fixed. Just kidding.
Oh, he's doing work with that guy. He's been doing good with like everything he's playing.
Well, there's been the one guy with the axe. I'm not a fan of that. Whoever that person, I can't remember who it was.
Yeah,
That was
I'm
my
not a fan of
worst.
the
Oh,
accent
Bren.
either.
Fuck.
Um,
Yeah, dude, you still got 3 lives. What? Get out of here. Get out of here.
oh, that's right. I got chicken.
I made pork fried rice today.
Nice.
Right, right.
I made my Asian food.
That is good, man. That does sound good.
Okay,
I
maybe
got-
the stage will save me.
Chicken thighs and
Oh, you fucker!
frozen fucking broccoli and cauliflower.
The cauliflower.
Cauliflower power.
There's no way I'm gonna survive.
Just freeze yourself, bro.
Freeze yourself.
I was just thinking. That's funny. That was on my mind too. Yeah, I don't like the concept of not being alive. That's super lame. But also,
Nobody likes
there's
it,
lots of
but-
good.
But you know,
Well-
like the thing is, I guess if your body and shit's
You
so
won't be
much
there,
pain and
obviously,
shit, I
so-
guess maybe it would be a blessing. It's one of those.
Well, it's like an infinite amount of time passing in an instant. That's where I'm like, yeah, there's something else. Like
That's what it seems like.
literally an infinite amount of time can pass in an instant, or
Oh
near
my
infinite,
God.
or whatever.
I got you on that
Could be an
downswing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Well, you mean like as a natural death? You think that will come back as a different entity?
I don't know. Maybe our information fucking comes back together.
reassembles and reamalgamates.
Think
That's
about,
kind of like reincarnation, the Buddhist reincarnation concept, where you can have memories and you
Murphy's
can
law.
you can test for your memories.
Murphy's law.
If anything's possible, it's going to eventually fucking happen. You know, if something can happen, you give enough infinite amount of
Yep.
time.
But you have to prove that it can be possible first. That's gonna be the problem.
But I have faith. I'd like
The
to,
universe-
I'd like to
dude.
have faith in that, I guess.
We don't even know how fucking deep the universe is. Like when I came up with the semiotic region thing, like we don't even know how many regions there could be, you know, or like points of view. And then I said, like, what if there's a perspective where we are essentially just like a wave, you know, like quantum fucking wave, you know, like we don't fucking know shit. We don't know shit yet. Not really. We don't know the limitations of the
Yeah.
universe because we're limited to this fucking human perspective. Wait, how many dimensions did Buddha say there were? I don't remember. Somebody brought it up. I think it was something. around-
dimensions? Let's find out. Google. How
we
many
have to.
dimensions?
I need to delve more into Eastern philosophy because every time you bring up some shit that the Buddhists thought, I'm like, dude, fucking
Dude, it's so
Buddhists are just way
good.
ahead. They're
I just
fucking
wish
way
I
ahead.
had been. I do wish I had grown up in India sometimes, or grown up in a very Buddhist country, because it's so. It seems so much healthier, just psychologically, phenomenologically,
I
culturally.
don't know how the poverty
It
is,
seems
but
so
even
much-
if even the poor people are happier, I don't know. But the
If they're
caste
happier,
system
yeah.
is like that.
It seems that they're, yeah.
I'll sit one out. So neat.
Dimensions of reality, dimensions of consciousness, of character and existence. It's not subject to time, space, birth, death, or coming and going. Yeah, Buddha's philosophy. We we looked at that image of the whole history of philosophy in that one giant image that goes up and
I
down.
would say,
you know what I mean?
yep.
And how
Whatever.
Buddhist philosophy kind of like dropped off about a few hundred years ago, or Eastern philosophy kind of dropped off because it's settled. Like they just got the substrate consciousness or substrate ontology, the relation first substrate based way of thinking, and then in the West we're still obsessed with distinct definitions and perfect clarity and logical rigor and all that. And
Yeah, dude. I feel like when you
yeah,
apply
that's
the
where-
relation
that's
first
never ending.
ontology, like you can just go so much further in your thinking.
Yeah, you can also go way further with it, but also there's knowing when to stop is available. And I think the Westerner is still obsessed in continental philosophy or whatever it's called, or just finding perfect terms and distinctions and ignorant of the context. Again, like the Western Eastern ignorance of context aspect, where we're still trying to how do I put this? We're still trying to find the perfect descriptors to click everything together, whereas in Eastern philosophy, everything's just clicked together naturally, and we use words to describe how that clickiness works.
Well, it's like
Or how
mostly
that-
introspective, right? So, and it's like introspection is like discouraged, right? Like even Wally says everybody's different, so it's like when you have that mentality, you're like, well, this fucking information I'm fucking coming up with, like as far as relations between different mental states and whatnot, like doesn't necessarily apply to everybody else, you know. So it's like through being overly committed to like scientific epistemology, you're depriving yourself of perspectives that might just be fucking super wise. I don't know. Like, that's basically what I mean.
Yeah.
And I think when we take introspection out of the equation, we literally eliminate information we can't get any other way. Like, I don't know, man. I look at experimental psychology and I'm just like, it's kind of a waste of fucking time.
Yeah, I think
Or it's like-
we've reached the limit of psychology. I think we're done with diagnosis at least. It has to fall on the philosopher's mind.
Well,
The rest of it has to be done by
we got to
philosophy.
figure out how to unlock like parts of the mind. Like we don't know how it actually works. Like we know parts of it, like what triggers and stuff, but like what, you know, I don't know. I think that's the last thing we first thing we need to figure out is how to work the brain or how it works all the way.
Well, we got the major elements that are necessary to form a psychological understanding of the mind. The more that we look into neuroscience to explain the mind, the more the mind becomes a mechanistic operative of the brain. And so what we're really talking about here is brain disorders and not mental disorders in this case,
Yeah.
or in this way of understanding, you know. So
Okay.
that's where I think that it comes back to the philosophers of mind, like Rebecca, like Greg Enriquez, like the freaking other guys. I can't remember right now. Yeah. No, that was stupid. But we do need it for neurology. So when it comes to TBIs and brain and physical lesions and brain injuries, that's where we continue the neuroscience and continue the neuropsychology, as it were.
Yeah, I guess with neuropsychology, you map mental functions and intentionality to specific brain functions and regions. But then it's like,
Yeah.
if we want to explore the limits of the mind with the neuroscience alone, we're sort of limited because it's like essentially theoretical, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
we're
well,
not-
that's consciousness. That's what consciousness research is. It's propositional knowledge, and so that has to be. This is Vervaeke again. It's propositional knowledge, and when you use propositions, you always have to establish that through perspectival and participatory and procedural knowledge. And if you don't, then you're just making propositions based on physical data and
Mhm.
electrodes.
Evidence first epistemology or science, yeah. Like we need value first, like a pragmatic approach before purely data driven. Because it's like if you're just gathering evidence, if you're just making up experiments to gather, you know, evidence or data, you know, like I don't know. I just feel like you have to have intuition in the mix. You have to have
Yeah, but you gotta validate your
Pragmatism.
intuition. That's the whole thing with science. You can think and feel whatever, but you have to show
But
the,
it's
you gotta
based
provide
off of the rest of your fucking built system though.
what?
It's based off the rest of the system that you have built.
What do you mean?
Sometimes too much. So
The rest of your system that your understanding, your system of understanding.
Yeah, but again, how are you gonna prove it? You still have to prove it.
Introspection
Yeah,
is a
so
proof,
when
and
it comes
that's where You know, that's the problem with fucking.
That's consciousness. You
Our
can't
approach.
prove consciousness or the mind.
I'm not talking about consciousness, like the
Well, you
solve
prove it
hard
through
problems. You can't-
philosophical consensus, as opposed to empirical
well,
consensus.
I mean, you could do it. If
heterophenomenology.
I showed you a question of 2 plus 2 and you answer 4, that could demonstrate you have a mind, right?
Right, then you can do logic, and also if you say that, so like I'd give myself as an example where if I had issues where I was struggling with social anxiety in the past, and then I took a bunch of courses, and I activated a sense of agency and free will and mindful motivation. That means that I have a mind that I use to do that, and that mind had to be nurtured through metaphors and powerful salient symbolism and powerful examples that resonated, to use that tricky word resonation. Those metaphors spoke to me, like the concept of limiting beliefs or the Socratic questioning process. The logical fallacies spoke to me, and logic itself, that's not, you can't really like prove logic either. That's also a theory. I mean, the proving, like these are
intuition.
words.
It's intuition.
What
It's literally all intuition. That's what I think. It's literally
well,
all intuition.
consensus as well. So I would say consensus is probably one of our best bet here, if not the best solution.
When we look at
Because
a body
you look
of
at a
proof,
bunch of people that have the same conditions that I've experienced, language problems or the social anxiety, and you say you got 100 people or 1,000 people that tried this method, and they all had the same results. Well, that's pretty good, and then you can look at that as empirical data.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yep. Hydrophenomenology.
There's no electrodes involved in that. There's no EEG scans. That's all epiphenomenal or all external in nature.
Yep. Like hard science, in a way that's like data driven and like requires absolute certainty, and like, cause you can't add math to the fucking psyche unless, I don't know, somebody's just that fucking good. But it's like when this
Use
occurs,
logical
then this
functions.
occurs. Like it's just simple, abstract, analysis, observation, and that's why I say we all have commonalities. So it's like, and it's all conditioned.
Yeah.
Conditional, I should say.
I don't know. I feel like the only thing that gets us to actual truth is science, for real. Everything else is kind
Certainty.
of
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's not
so-
true. Just because you're not certain doesn't mean it's not true.
I never said it wasn't
And
true.
you can-
I just keep saying that it's on
You can apply a pragmatic principle to introspection as to justify its truth, because if you operate,
Yeah,
based
so
on
you can put
introspection-
it in logical formalisms. God damn it.
I killed myself though.
Oh. So you can use logical formalisms with anything. I was doing this with the Universal Embodiment Project a couple years back, and I found it valuable to say that if A results in B, and that equals C, like the betterment of C, then that means that A and B are the correct path to arrive at C.
Okay,
But all that did was just appeal to the math heads. All that did was appeal to the people that reason via math only, and that didn't
Well,
really
also
do
it's
that for me.
logic
Like I
in
already,
general.
it's calculated logical formalisms, and you're already doing the logic by thinking that way.
so
You don't have to spell it out into a formula.
there's certain things that
Um,
scientists cannot know. And that's what
Yeah.
philosophy is for, and introspection is for.
so-
And a lot of philosophy requires introspection, involves, because shit. Like, I mean, a lot of things that would be called philosophy, or like can also be called introspective psychology. So it's
Here's the greatest way I've thought of resolving this, or I didn't think about this, or just the greatest message that I heard is philosophy is natural science, and science is natural philosophy. Science is the philosophy of nature, and we're using various tools to arrive at that. And when we neglect the philosophy, or we neglect to ask what we're doing with it, we just fall into massive determinism and reductionism, where we reduce people into parts and neglect the whole. And philosophy helps remind us of the whole.
mhm.
And then philosophy gets too abstract as well, and it can get into like Jungian dream analysis or Freudian sexology or whatever, or the Oedipus complex. And without enough physical evidence or without enough empirical empirical research and studies to validate it, and we're lost without. Yeah, the words evidence and the words proof and the words data and science itself are very tricky. Like a lot of people think of them from one perspective or another, it seems.
Yeah. Yep. Like Newton
think-
himself
they
thought of
think
himself as a
science and they
natural
think-
philosopher. You know, like he just applied
Yeah,
mathematics to
philosophy
it.
usually makes you have logic, so you're kind of one of the same. But
What?
philosophy makes you think with logic.
Well, yeah, but it just doesn't have empirical like evidence to support it. It's mostly a priori.
But even empirical, like that's
Or
a
it's
tricky word too, right? The
well,
word
it would be
empirical
it's
Well,
physicalism.
I would
It's
argue fucking
physicalism,
like,
materialism.
well, like, is evolution empirical? Like, we can prove it more of the ways than
we
can
can't
prove-
falsify it. That's where.
What do you mean you can't falsify it?
Because it is falsifiable. So
Yeah.
like we have not falsified it. You know, basically the
Uh-huh.
argument is if you find a rabbit in like whatever era, you know, like the
Yeah.
Cambrian era or whatever.
Yeah,
then
whatever,
it's
Precambrian,
Like, okay,
yeah.
well, yeah, then like okay, evolution's probably bullshit, but we haven't found any like falsifying evidence such as that.
Correct. So I'm saying, wouldn't that be
Yeah.
empirical?
Basically, in the absence aspect, yeah.
I'm just saying. So when people say there's no empiricism, I'm saying there is, because
What?
you could. There are things that are
This is where
literally empirical.
consistency, coherency comes into play. So like epistemology is very like multifaceted. Like it's very like every single tool in our fucking toolbox gives us knowledge. Like we can't only look at strict mathematical.
Yeah, but the thing
like,
is, we use
observational
evolution, like the
science.
theory of evolution, to better our science, like our medicine, or like we.
Well, yeah.
So like to me, that it proves that it's empirical, because we have a thought process. We can't prove that it's wrong, and then we use the knowledge from that process to further better
I agree.
human beings in
See,
general.
that would be a pragmatic argument right there. That's a pragmatic argument. So, like pragmatism is, so like that's the core of like my epistemological views. Just because even the principle of use is consistent with, you know, objective knowledge. Like if it
Right.
works, then these relations that allow for it to work must exist. And you know, then if you look at it from another perspective, like a non-pragmatic perspective, then what, like, you know, you can, if you prove something that way, like you said with evolution, you can then continue to prove it through applying it to
Mhm.
other things.
My whole point
So
was
like
that,
holism,
that would,
holism.
that
is
would prove
basically
that
where
it's
I'm at.
empirical to me, though, because you could make predictions off it, and the predictions always come true, right?
Right, so that's the difference with psychology, because you can make predictions about the brain being a certain way, but then the mind comes into play
Yeah.
and disproves those. And
Well, that's what I'm
where
saying. I feel
psychology
like
specializes.
that's why we need to figure. Like I say, that's like the
You can
besides
prove
like
things in your
space,
own
that's the
mind
final frontier for humans,
through
is studying the mind and
its
figuring out
utility.
exactly how it works. Like,
It's like meditation for mental health, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't necessarily prove that. Like you don't have to prove it through science. You can prove it strictly through introspection and
well,
its
technically,
effects on your
if they really wanted to do
Well,
it, if you want to do it scientifically, you do a study with like 10,000
That's-
people doing the same kind of meditation to see if it actually helped.
Well, you don't
5
need to.
people.
If you can
That's
just
well,
confirm it to
we've done that
yourself.
already.
You can
Yeah.
confirm it to
We've done
yourself.
those kind of
Yeah.
studies.
Yep.
The thing is that we're just we can't wait. So I do agree, Wally. I thought about this for a long time too. Is that eventually we're going to have a perfectly reductionist and a perfectly deterministic explanation of how the mind works, and how all the ways that all of the human variations of the subjective experience can go about healing the body and the mind, and how all that works for every individual person, despite all the nuances of personalities and all that. But we're way off from that. We're many hundreds of years probably away from that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that we exercise the humility of acknowledging that in Western psychology. So what we have to do now is use these stand-ins We have to use the cheesy mantras and the cheesy therapies with all the gentle language and all these powerful idioms and statements and rationales that appeal to our
consensus that it
emotions and
works.
appeal to our perspectives. You know.
Yeah.
If there's consensus that it works, then it works. Like we don't need to have.
Yes,
Like
that's
first
the
of all,
practical.
I think the idea that things need to be socially fucking established is really limiting to individual minds and their ability.
Well, it's
to
tricky
explore.
too because again, you brought up culture, and that's yeah. I mean, cultures evolve and change over time too,
Mhm.
just like little microcultures in cities, and the state versus the nation versus the global psyche, or the global, like the sense of a how all brains work. Well, you want to have a. I mean, when it comes to behavioral psychology, this is where it gets really tricky because the way that I behave in a psychologically healthy manner in the U.S. is going to be way different than the way that I behave in Japan psychologically there. Like I'd have to study that culture and really I would do things in I mean the brain doesn't seem to be able to adapt to 266 different cultures in all those nations. I think that's yeah, maybe we'll never reach that. And so from that if that's true then we have to continue the mindfulness and the cheesy mantras and
Mhm.
the effective pragmatic psychology approaches. I think.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a freaking character. Yeah, I do.
Num 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 num.
I'm probably gonna call it after this one. I gotta go to work tomorrow and do stuff. This is a great
Work and
discussion.
stuff for sure.
Yes.
I just think limiting your epistemology to strict science is not a good idea. It's not good for science itself. It's not good for individuals. It's like you got to be able to use your own mind, and literally like I take a naturalistic response, like take
Oh
like
wait, what? Oh,
oh am I still oh shit I fucking forgot I was playing.
oh my god! Wow, I forgot how slow Sidra is. Jesus! Let me get one attack in. Oh my god! Not even one attack, and I'm dead.
Momentum, bro. Momentum is real.
Yeah, no kidding.
The conservation of momentum too.
Right.
Inertia.
Mm-hmm. I watched this person go over
Inertia
a
is
physics thing. It was pretty fun.
I wonder if just people that think inertia doesn't exist. It's not real.
They don't. They think it's all
Oh, yeah, they're having-
magnetism and shit. Those are your flat earth dum dums.
Oh shit.
Oh wow.
Shit. Do I have a downward shot? No, just a kick.
Yeah, you do. It's your air combat, or your air combo, or whatever it's called.
My down, or let me see. Oh fuck, what am I
Your
doing?
down, the bow's down spike is really good. It has a large hitbox. Yeah, that move.
Oh yeah, it's a kick.
Boom, bitches.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
No, I fucked up. No.
Okay. Yeah, Koji's pretty good. People use him in tournaments. Really.
Oh fucker.
Yeah,
Got
that
caught up.
passion, it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good move. Oh, what? No. That's it. Wow.
GG.
Wow.
Double KO.
Excellent. Great finisher. All right. I shall retire.
I shall retire.
Tired 2/4.
I shall retire to my quarters. Freaking cool night, y'all. I really enjoy these talks. You guys are great people.
Hell yeah, brother. It's always good talking to you, brother.
You're great people.
You're a towel. Just kidding.
I'll try to do some polymath meetings probably either Saturday or next Tuesday. If y'all want in on that, I'll let you
Okay.
know what's up.
Yeah, Saturday probably works best for me, but
Oh,
if
shit.
either way,
I have
just
to
let me
go
know.
Thursday.
Alrighty. Y'all have a good night. Much love, y'all.
You
Hey,
too,
too,
brother.
man.
Peace
Yep.
out.
Love you, man. You're the best. What now,
Nom, nom, nom.
Wally-san?
Oh shit, who knows? We can watch a video or something.
Wally-san?
Oh, GG, motherfuckers. Let's see here. Bet you I can find something for us to watch. Give it a minute.
Walter-san.
Oh, hello. I was just on Twitter. I never go on Twitter, just looking at all the fake news shit. That's where I go to see how Republicans really think. Just all the most retarded shit in the world. For me, the big thing is fucking, I can't believe how many people are pro fucking Putin in Russia. Pro Russia. Let's see here.
Market gains don't happen during the day, but actually overnight. And what if you could actually target around $823 in overnight income 4 times a week? Now stick with me for the next 90 seconds and I'll actually show you how, because here's the deal. Most of the action in the markets actually happens after hours while you're not staring at the screen all day. And the strategy I developed is focused on placing a trade right about 3:30 p.m., basically right before the market closes, and then automatically closing out the next day. And that's it. There's no stress, no watching the charts, no panicking. And if you click here on the ad right now on this video, I can show you exactly how this overnight income strategy works. Now, if you take a look at this chart, so this is according to our back test, you started with 20.
With AI. In the competitive, humans choose to use them. You are living.
All right. Whenever you're ready, we can watch a video.
What you got?
We still got to finish this goddamn AI fucking taking over shit.
Let me see this shit.
You'll see.
Through one of the most profound revolutions in human history. Artificial intelligence isn't just changing our world, it's fundamentally reshaping what we thought was even possible. And unlike previous technological advancements that promised to revolutionize everything but ultimately found their niche, AI is actually living up to the hype, and it's escalating. Think about what's happened in the last few years with large language models alone. For the first time in human history, we've created entities that can access and process virtually the entirety of human knowledge in seconds. These systems are, in a very real sense, the closest thing to omniscient beings we have ever encountered. They can draw connections across vast domains of knowledge, synthesize information from countless sources, and generate insights that would take humans lifetimes to produce. The implications of this are staggering. We're not.
See, this guy's like all about yo shit. He likes using AI.
Oh, yeah.
He's all about use it for the good, which should be, I guess, but you just never know with people. That's always what it comes down to.
just talking about a clever chatbot or a sophisticated search
I
engine.
mean, we don't
We're
even have
talking-
control over it anymore, so it's like
Are they truly
nobody's
sentient
it,
or whatever?
potentially. I don't know.
I don't know either.
That's
I feel
that's
like
a lot
they still
to
have to
get
be
into.
programmed, but I get what you're saying.
because they don't have like a body. They don't have like persistent interests, like in a way that's like in the way that we do. You know, like they don't have specific things tied to themselves. Like I don't know if they even really have a self. So, but then again, I don't think a self is required for awareness, and as far as like mental self, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
I think like in my investigations, like I don't know if awareness is anything special. Like I think it might just be like even down to fucking atoms and baseballs. Like if you fucking stimulate it, you know, a certain way, you know, it's gonna be, you know, like it's gonna have like a resonance inside, you know, based upon its own character, you know, like it might be quote unquote aware in that moment in which it's stimulated, you know, but it's very simple. It's not like us. It's baseball specific or like object specific, you know. It depends on its structure. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I think awareness is special. I'll have to think more on it though. Because it might like in the way like the brain. Well, that's another thing though. Like okay, so the way I see it is if we have the ability to respond to a thing or have that coded within us, when we perceive that pattern, that response pattern is also like being activated. And I think it's like it's basically the same thing. It's like at the same time as awareness, you know, like when we and then I think when we're conscious of that, like um on like a mind level, we are able to intervene on that behavior that is being activated toward that thing that we're aware of, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's basically what the mind is for. It's like a representation of what's in the brain rather than like so okay, so there's first order awareness, right? Like awareness that you're not aware of in itself, but
Okay.
you are aware of something. And then there's second order awareness where you are aware that you are aware of that thing, you know? So like I'm looking at the screen, you know, I see this guy with his beard and his fucking bowl cut. Like, yeah, that's straight up second order awareness. Like I'm able to see and describe what I'm aware of and know that I'm aware of it.
Mm,
But yeah, so like other objects, like other than things with brains, they wouldn't have second order awareness. It would just
yeah.
be
Like a single
it'd be
cell
stimulus and
organism.
response.
Yeah.
Yeah, just stimulus and response. Just straight up, you know, like if fucking atom is orbiting something or fucking moving around through space on its own, it's whatever has made it move or is drawing it toward it is like the element in which it's aware, you know. So it's like I think that there might be some sort of willing like phenomenology to it, like but not like one that it's aware of. So it's like pushing itself or being pulled toward the thing, you know. I don't know. It's complicated, but it does away with the whole problem of qualia in the mind, which is you know, where does green exist in your brain? If so, where the fuck is it? You know, because I just don't think that that is a thing. I don't think that there is a green in the brain. You know, like it's just the way that the brain like interprets light patterns. You know, like that's just the summary of the quantization, the stand-in for the fucking light wave or the fucking frequency or whatever corresponding to green. It's just like its own private language. I mean, so it's like it exists but it doesn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the weird thing. Green exists, but it's just the way that the brain fucking interprets it. And it's like because we have different colors, we can, you know, differentiate between like different berries and whatnot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't eat the green one, that's poisonous. The red one, that
Well,
one's
that's
okay.
because someone ate it and gave you the knowledge, right? That'd be, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but then like, you know, there's birds and shit that, you know, probably don't eat certain berries or, you know, whatever.
I mean,
Certain
again, I'm
animals
assuming
that-
it's the same thing though. I'm assuming that they ate it, they watched the homie die, and then they told their, you know, their
Well, they have
their youth-
DNA.
huh?
They have DNA, you know?
Through DNA,
They have-
yeah,
they have-
eventually through DNA. I'm just talking about the first ones. Yet there's the first ones that do it that have to do stuff for us to, you know, figure out, and then it becomes that later. I would assume, yeah, DNA and shit.
Yeah, I would say like that's how natural selection works, right? Like,
Yep.
see, dude, and this is why I think knowledge is like a universal thing, knowledge and structure, because fucking what is DNA but information / knowledge, like of what works, of the fucking shit, whatever fucking survives, you know, whatever mutates in a certain way and that works, like that's how it's still around. So like I take pragmatism and I fucking see it as a force of fucking nature, really. And it is there with knowledge and structure, information. Even like the way planets, you know, form and like you know, you get the kind of planets that work. You know, and then probably if you go back to the earliest phases of the universe, like there's like a Darwinian process there too, you know, where
yeah, it's always there,
the
I'm
structures,
assuming.
yeah, Darwinism is universal. It's
Well, yeah, I
absolutely.
mean, you gotta think. So,
It's
like,
everywhere.
yeah, you gotta think in the very beginning. It was matter versus antimatter. Matter just won barely.
I think there's even more to it than that, dude. Like,
Well, yeah, but
I
I
don't
get
even
that. But
know what these guys
because
have-
without materials, you have nothing. So there had to be a matter versus antimatter fight, and then it had to become the gravitational pull. Which ones got the most gravity became the stars and shit, which then formed the. You know, like if you want to get like real technical, I guess, yeah. It all
you gotta
goes
figure out
downstream.
like what the quantum foam is, because like that's even more fucking complicated. Because like that makes it way more complicated. And then it's like also the physical forces, you know. So you got the nuclear forces, weak and strong, and you got the electromagnetic force, and you got gravity. So like those were probably also selected. And those are you know, it's always associated with a particular substance, you know, like force receptivity, like your ability to be affected by a force depends on what kind of thing you are or whatever thing it is, you know.
Mm.
So like you know, you got like the Higgs boson. If something doesn't have the Higgs boson as a part of its structure, it just isn't affected by gravity, allegedly.
What's not affected by gravity?
If something doesn't have the Higgs boson, okay, the Higgs boson is the particle that makes gravity work. Apparently, it does. It says it isn't. I think they might have proven it. See, quantum excitation. Okay. Oh, Higgs field. Okay. But what is the Higgs field? But like a particular region of the quantum field. See, I look at all matter as representations caused, I guess, by quantum excitations of the quantum field. So I look at it as representations. Like and that's why I think strings exist, because something can't be a representation if it's not tied to the thing which it's representing. So like a string would probably be like a two-way connection of sorts. And then I also think space is probably composed of strings.
There we go.
LegalZoom makes it simple to start an LLC in 3 easy steps.
So yeah, like
business-
things like electrons don't have mass, but you know, that's what electromagnetism is.
I think they do, don't they? Isn't that what the periodic table is like? Helium has
I don't
one.
think electrons have mass. Well, actually, that might be a lie, because...
I'm pretty sure it's true.
Oh, it says it does. Although it is very small.
Yeah.
But
I'm saying a helium
where the
is
fuck do we
one,
get
so it has
that?
one particle of weight, mass, or whatever. And then it keeps going and going and going and going and adding.
Okay. Which elementary particles have mass?
All of them.
Protons and neutrons. So which do not have mass. Okay. The only elementary particles confirmed to have no mass are photons. Okay, well, that makes it fucking weird because photons are affected by gravity. Fucking
That's what I'm
photons
saying.
are light. And gluons, carriers of the strong force, nuclear force, both considered gauge bosons. These particles are considered massless because they do not interact with the Higgs field, which is responsible for giving other particles their mass. Actually, I gotta fucking look into that. The Higgs field is fucking interesting. Photons are associated with the electromagnetic force, while gluons mediate the strong nuclear force. So the idea that things gain properties which make them susceptible to forces is fucking weird. But then again, gravity doesn't need mass necessarily. But if it doesn't have mass, then how does it have fucking energy? Well, it would gain mass, I guess, through interaction with the Higgs field.
Yeah,
I
so
don't.
it's a paradox in the sense of it's matter without mass. But you need mass to have matter, so...
Well, clearly, the second thing is wrong. Our definition of matter is basically based on like our phenomenology of it, like, or like our, originally at least. Things are like solid or like I shouldn't say solid, but like susceptible to interaction. You know, like little balls that can be fucking bounced or some shit.
Yeah, photons can be represented in radio waves, gamma rays, and visible light.
You gotta think too that all these things have a waveform. Like it's not just photons that are quanta. Like all these things are quanta as well. So like quantum physics applies to all these, like superposition, entanglement, so on and so forth.
That's what it says. Like many other particles governed by quantum mechanics, photons have the characteristics of both waves and particles. Photons travel in a wave-like fashion in which the local electric and magnetic field oscillates in intensity, regularly swinging back and forth between high and low energy levels. The energy in the photons determines the type of electromagnetic radiation the photons transmit. This means low energy photons carry radio waves. Radio waves are called long wavelengths because the bottom and the crest of the wave are relatively far apart. High energy photons carry gamma waves. Gammas are short wavelengths because the bottom and the crest of their waves are very close together. And that's from the Department of Energy, the DOE. This is images from NASA. So this isn't NASA people explaining this shit, or what I just read. Huh. So like, yeah, nuclear is all fucking gamma rays. Your, what is this? Radio waves are fucking big fucking whoops and wiggles. X-rays. X-rays are next to gamma rays, which are next to ultraviolet rays. Then we got visible light, and then you got infrared, microwaves, and radio waves that you can't see.
I gotta fucking learn more about neutrinos too. Neutrinos are affected by gravity in the weak nuclear force. Neutrino is electrically neutral, and its rest mass is so small that it was long thought to be zero. The rest mass of the neutrino is much smaller than that of the other known elementary particles, excluding massless particles. The weak force has a very short range. The gravitational interaction is extremely weak due to the very small mass of the neutrino, and neutrinos do not participate in the electromagnetic interaction or the strong interaction. Thus, neutrinos typically pass through normal matter unimpeded and undetected. That is fucking dope. See, I think that we have fucking shit in our fucking universe that does not interact with other matter. That's what I think. Yeah, I think that we do.
Why?
Yeah, and I think that we probably have got, because it's possible already, you know. So like, the fucking precedent is already there. And what does the universe do? It fucking evolves. We could have whole fucking regions that only exist relative to each other, you know, relative to themselves. But things like dark matter might be like a bridge to these other quote-unquote dimensions of reality. Or if we could figure out how to phase into that or something.
I guess I don't know. Thing is, quantum is fucking impossible to know about.
Yeah, like none of this stuff I know. I'm just saying it's.
No, I know. Well, it's not impossible, obviously, but just yeah, you got to be super. Like, dude, even the smartest people in the world haven't quite figured it out. All right, this guy's gonna bring up the Higgs mechanisms.
Physicists really care.
Okay, so I just
about
want
the
to say
mass-
this: like, you can't like differentiate between like the smartest people in the world and yourself, because that's how you limit your knowledge. Like, that's how you limit your like conception of what you think.
Well,
is
maybe.
yourself.
I just call being realistic, and I know where the fuck my lane
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Like, in other areas, I might be way smarter than them, but on like that topic, they're gonna be smart as fuck and the best. You know, which is fine.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't know. Reality is, well, yeah, you should pick whatever you're gonna be most productive in for sure.
Yeah.
But if you have curiosity, if you fucking
No, I
wanna
try
let
to
your
learn, but like I
curiosity
said,
bring you,
but I can't
yeah.
truly. Like I said, it's like a lot of these things with
Yeah.
science. Like, I try to understand. I get the concepts and shit, but like I'm saying, like the smartest people can literally break down everything mathematically, scientific. Like, they could give you all the details. I can't.
I don't know if like, okay, so you look at somebody like I don't know. Like, I don't think the gap is that fucking huge between
I
all
think
of
it
us.
is.
Like, I don't think it is at all.
Because, like I said, if I
Because like if I had a theory like a year after some physicist that there's a fucking backwards universe in time, like, I'm not that fucking far behind these fuckers. Like, I just don't have the mathematics. I think we just fucking overestimate the level of like the level of commitment to like train to these things. I really think that it's all fucking, I don't know, we just bullshit ourselves, and that's how we box ourselves in. I don't know.
I feel like
until you get there, until you get to that level,
people are just
you
naturally
can't really
gifted at
know.
stuff.
Oh, it's practice. It's practice. They had faith.
You can get better at stuff, but I'm saying, but you don't think people are
they didn't just
naturally
look at
gifted at
calculus.
stuff?
But here's the thing: they didn't sit there and be like, okay, well, I'm not that smart as this guy, so I can't do it. It's all a fucking like, it has to do with your age, and it has to do with there's so many factors. It's all like, a lot of it's just psychological. It
Maybe
really just is.
I would use think about it like this. Do you think that I could be Goodwill Hunting
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I do think that. I absolutely think. And the reason why you won't be able to be him is because you say you can't. We place limitations on ourselves.
Maybe somewhat, but I feel like people are just naturally gifted at certain things. So like you're gonna be awesome at these. Like there could be stuff that you.
I think these theories are self-limiting. Like everything you're saying is just self-limiting. I'm not trying to say I can be the smartest guy in the world because no, I can't. Like then, and that's also like what is the smartest guy in the world? You know, it's a stupid fucking category.
I'm not asking
It
about the
shouldn't even
smart. I'm
exist.
saying certain topics. That's why I break it down to topics. Like
Yeah.
because you could be the smartest in this topic. Like there could be a smartest person in physics
Well,
or
there is.
math. I'm just saying like when you break it down. But if you want to go smartest in the
exists.
world, there's none because that's broad.
Yeah.
You know, but
I just, dude, I think we've just developed certain ways. We develop these beliefs, and then that belief just reifies or solidifies our limitations or like lack of exploration. The more you believe that's possible for you, and the more you pursue that with passion, the more you can achieve. Like just straight up, like. I mean, obviously, younger brains are more, plastic. They're more, able to reroute their connections and shit. But yeah, the less limiting beliefs you have, the fucking better you are.
sure.
The better you perform, and that's why the young kids, the prodigies, and these guys that latched onto this shit at an early age. That's why they fucking develop so fucking much. Like there might be some fucking natural aptitude, but how much? How much can you prove it? Because you can't take you and fucking give you a different life and then see how it plays out, right? So it's complicated. I think so much of it just comes down to our culture and like the beliefs that we've established, probably for productivity purposes. Like makes no sense. For instance, like for me to think I can be a great sports player, like Josh brought this up earlier, like at the age of 35, that would be fucking stupid. But maybe if I go back to when I was fucking 14 or whatever, and I didn't break my fucking leg, and I went into played football, maybe I could have been a great fucking player. I don't fucking know. But it's not really. It's all about mindset. Everything's mindset. The whole fucking thing either limits you or allows you to fucking grow. And that's where fucking, like, allowing your mind to be your own laboratory is fucking important. Heterophenomenology. Like, so, you know what phenomenology means at this point? Like, the study of the way things seem in experience.
Phenomenology?
Like, describe. Yeah, phenomenology.
Yeah, I know what that is.
Yeah, so heterophenomenology, that's, hetero, other. So it means phenomenology of others, like, so, or, it's almost like an intersubjective phenomenology where we're like, saying, oh, this seems like this, through introspection. And we communicate to another person.
How do you, I'm always going to go back to the point, like, you got to get to the point where you can actually, thinking it is cool, but you got to get to the point where you can actually prove it.
Okay, but like, it's in the mind though. That's the point. The mind is the brain.
Correct. Then you got to solve the mind. That's why I told Brandon earlier, the studying and figuring out the actual human brain is the last frontier for fucking us as humans. Like that in space.
But the mind is the brain. It's like it is the brain. So we are literally
the brain is something,
thing.
Right? The brain is matter.
Sure, but it's not like it can be not solved. Like so. The mind is like, in a way, it's epistemically prior to the brain, really.
The mind is before the brain, I suppose.
Epistemically prior.
Why?
The brain is ontologically prior, because there's no way to even know like what the fucking brain does without like phenomenology to like, like you get people with like brain damage, right? Like, and it's a connection between the subjective and the objective. We can't.
I know, but I'm saying, but the thing is, eventually you got to get to the
functions
objective
of the brain.
How do you do it? I don't know. Some things maybe never. Like it's the same thing with math. Some things might be forever undetermined. That sucks, but it's hard to get people.
I think
to,
that this is dogma, though. That's all I'm trying to say. Like you're giving like priority to materialistic science over.
Well,
like,
because that's the only thing we know. That's the only thing that's for sure. I'm saying everything. You can have thoughts. You can think and believe.
What do you mean?
Whatever.
That's the only thing you know. Your mind is what you know. It's literally there, and like whatever's happening in
but
your
mind
is
can be
also
tricked, right?
happening in your brain.
You can be tricked, right? So like your
I can
mind's
prove
not
why it's tricked, though. I can prove that.
I can too.
I'm trying to fucking explain this to you, but you're just bringing up random shit that isn't even like.
What do you mean?
Because this is shit that I wouldn't even fucking deal with when I wouldn't even argue against this shit. Like I wouldn't even bring this shit up because like I don't know.
But you should because that's what matters. You need to fucking make it.
But it's not pragmatic. These things you bring up aren't even like pragmatic.
What do you mean they're not pragmatic?
Okay, so when does one's brain trick oneself?
When? If a guy can manipulate how you think, all what's it called? Mentalists, they use it.
Okay, well, are they doing that to my brain or my mind? I don't fucking know how to say this.
To your brain. They know how your brain works.
Okay, so where do you think brain has priority over mind?
I would say your brain is your mind.
Right. So if the brain is the mind, then why is the product of the mind so fucking like off limits? Like why is studying the mind in itself off limits?
Who's taking it off limits?
Well, I thought you were.
Well, I'm saying the brain is the mind, so you're studying the brain.
There are truths about our behavior we can only know through introspection, or that we can know through introspection, I should say. It doesn't all come back to. We don't have to map it to the brain for it to be true. We don't need the brain.
No, but if you want to solve the riddle, you need to map it to the brain. That's my whole point. If you want to actually solve your problem, because if you want to solve the riddle, you need to get to the answer. You can't make more questions and have more assumptions.
The answer in the brain, in the mind, dude.
Yeah, but how do you prove it?
With your mind. In your mind, you observe it in your fucking mind.
Observe what? Anything?
Anything that pertains to what governs your behavior in your mind. You can. Well, I mean, there's certain things you can't know through your mind, but I suppose. But
well, I'm saying a lot of it could be through your DNA too. Like you're predisposed to having certain thoughts and beliefs and feelings too, partially. Like there's people that are predisposed.
Intentionality element. There's the term.
It's the nature versus nurture kind of shit, dude. Like obviously there's gonna be points where you're predisposed to thinking and feeling certain ways, but your upbringing is gonna affect if those things trigger. Right? I would assume.
Partially, yeah.
And then if you take that concept, like I said, now if we can figure out if someone knows how to manipulate those triggers and shit, they can therefore either trick you, mind manipulate, whatever kind of thing.
Well, right, but like I'm not tricking myself.
Some people do. What do you mean? People do it all the time.
I'm not. You got to figure out how not to trick
yourself. Maybe not you, but I'm saying people do all the time, and I bet I do too.
Well, sure.
I think everyone does.
You got to be competent. That's you. I mean, if you want to study the mind from an introspective perspective, like you have to unbias yourself as much as possible. Or if you want to push it to its greatest possible limits, which is basically what I'm interested in. The only way to do that is to experiment, like, and fucking clear out your mental blocks.
But I'm saying, my whole point is you got to figure out the brain. We got to figure out how the brain works.
Okay, so when you can give somebody advice and it works,
that
means that there are like inherent similarities between us. Like if you give somebody psychological advice or relationship advice, that means that there are similarities that we all share.
Maybe, but the thing is also, what if you give them advice and it doesn't work?
Then that would just mean that one didn't work for whatever
reason. Why
didn't
it work? Though?
There would be because of there's a lot of different fucking reasons.
Correct.
Beliefs,
but why did it? So then why did it work the one time then?
Well, why are we only focusing on when it doesn't work?
I asked you both questions.
On when it doesn't work.
I just asked you both questions. I just said, so why did it work in the first place then?
There's a lot of fucking things that go into that.
Same. So I'm saying you.
I mean,
In
when
the
you go
end, we don't
into-
have an answer yet. So I'm saying
We have the same, like, we can develop the same ways. We can fucking do this or that for
I would argue that
fucking the
it's
same
people.
reasons.
Again, it comes down to the. I always use culture because it's the easiest broad term, but it's just whatever. Like if you have a pickup artist who knows how to pick up pickup chicks and he tells dudes this is how you do it. If they don't have the same upbringing, same charisma, same everything that the other person has, it doesn't matter what kind of advice you give them. Now,
Well,
if you
they got to undo their experiences, their negative experiences that, and then like their other identities, you know, that they acquired by not being able to pick up chicks or whatever. And they got to focus on actually picking up chicks. They can't just be like, you know, whatever. Hey, I'm talking to this chick. They got to actually focus on their game. I mean, I think somebody can fucking figure it out. You know, if they're dedicated, they can fucking do the work to.
But then
sort out their own beliefs
I
and
mean,
thoughts.
then I would argue, are you yourself anymore? Are you a different person now at this point? You're not you no more because now you're gonna because in
I
order
think
to
you're-
do
I
that, you're
think
probably
you're
to
you.
change your whole life, like your whole attitude, everything. Like, you're not gonna be you no more.
I think we're too attached to certain identities, and I think
Maybe.
that itself comes down to social factors.
Somewhat. Let's say you are a big music person, okay? And you've been playing like trumpet, you've been playing clarinet your whole fucking life. And all of a sudden you listen to this dude and he says, that shit's hella gay. You should fucking join sports. That's how you get chicks. And if you do this, you get chicks and do this, right? And then you do it. Are you the same person and or are you the different person? Are you a hybrid? What do
Well,
you
it comes down to how you like process identity, and identity is a weird thing. And I think we cling to our identities in a sense because it gives us a sense of predictability and safety and meaning.
Yeah. Again, we're patterns.
If the man wants to fucking pick up chicks, then he ought to do, you know, if that's what he cares about the most, then he ought to do whatever he can to pick up the chicks, right? Like if he
Sure.
values the chick rather than his.
But then
like,
does he lose
authentic-
himself? That's my whole question. Is
Well,
that person?
I guess in a
is that
sense
the
he's
same-
not being himself. No, he's
That's
not
my
being
whole point.
himself. No,
Yeah, that was my whole argument in the sense of like
that's
you would
so,
not be you
like
no
this,
more, right?
This is where it gets kind of weird because they're okay. So you got the actual physical self, like your body, you
Mhm.
know, and then you got your self as you represent yourself, and then you got your emotional self, you know, or authentic self. So it gets complicated, I guess. I'll have to do more thinking about it.
Yeah, these things are very complicated. And I'm saying, like, to me, the only way you can actually solve most of these questions is actually figuring out
But
the mind, like
it's
or
also
not the
to
mind, but
say-
the brain. You got to figure out the brain.
Okay,
You figure out the brain. You
so
can figure out
here's where fluid identity comes into play, right? Is why is the guy that picks? Why is it when he picks up chicks like that isn't also his self, right? Like,
Well, I was
when
saying
he
because
figures out his game.
my hypothetical what her story
If
was
he's-
because he was a music nerd. He played trumpet, he played clarinet or whatever the fuck it was. And now this person's saying you got to join sports, you got to be a macho man, you got to do this.
Yeah.
So the person's like, well, I gotta, you know, because he says it's gay or whatever. So the guy's like, oh, I can't play my,
Yeah.
I got to put my flute down, I got to put this down because this guy says hella gay, you can't get chicks, so I got to do this, and then becomes a whole new person. Well, that person now for most likely the rest of their life will never be their actual like self or like what they actually want to be because they were manipulated by somebody else long term, you know, like downstream.
Yeah, but I don't know how likely that is that his old self wouldn't emerge at some point.
Maybe
Like,
later.
Eventually,
I mean, maybe.
eventually you feel some vacuum or emptiness, you know, like what the fuck, man, I'm missing something. You know, I'm not I don't know.
I don't know.
I think
Maybe.
yeah. That's the whole thing. Is like we can be many things, and like we can wear many hats and still be the same person.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you're not fucking, putting those fucking other hats away, burning them.
Well, that's my whole point. Is usually people do though. Not everyone, but a lot of people
They shouldn't.
No, they shouldn't.
I think that comes down to our culture. That comes down to. It's also bad psychology, like incomplete psychology. Like, if I see somebody, playing a clarinet, and I assume he like can't pick up chicks, like, and then he does pick up chicks, like that's an instance where that theory is wrong,
Mhm.
like.
I know, but
like,
I'm saying that in my hypothetical, the point is the person that influenced them said it was like hella gay. You'll always be known as like this. Like they negate the thing that you love, so then you put it down and you use this, like I said, for my analogy, it was a sports thing to cope with losing that, to become more whatever the guy's influencing you to be. Like I said, picking up chicks in this analogy, but
No, I get it.
But I don't know.
Brings up the whole real versus false self thing. That's one of those things that narcissists have, is a false self, and their whole world depends upon this false self, this identity, this inflated sense of importance or
Yeah.
ability or whatever. And that's why they're the fucking way they are. How long is this video? 18 minutes or 12 minutes?
8 minutes, 18. But I usually put it up to like at least 1 1/4 speed. Probably 1.5.
The W boson. They spent nearly a decade recording collisions at the Tevatron Collider and another decade analyzing the data. This culminated in the April 7th announcement that this obscure particle's mass seems to be 0.1% heavier than expected. So why do we care? Well, because understanding why this particle even has mass was one of the most important breakthroughs in our understanding of the subatomic world, and because measuring its precise mass either doubles down on our current understanding or reveals a path to even deeper knowledge. The Fermilab discrepancy is a tantalizing hint of the latter. The timing of Fermilab's discovery is weirdly convenient. Over several previous episodes, we've been building towards an understanding of how the forces of nature are unified. The most powerful clue driving this is the weirdness of the weak force, in particular, the particles that carry this force. Its W and Z bosons have a property that we once thought no force-carrying particle should have.
Oh, no, okay, so that's why
They have.
What?
That's so weird. Force carrying particle versus force
Carrying.
force fucking susceptible.
Mass.
Yeah.
The W bosons are especially weird in that they also have electric charge. This allows the weak force to trespass on the province of electromagnetism, suggesting a connection between the two. This connection hints at a unification of the forces of nature. The path to that unification leads to the Higgs mechanism, which not only explains the mass of the weak bosons, but teaches us about the nature of mass itself. To get to all of that good stuff, we need a bit of a refresher on the episodes that led to this. Field and forces and symmetries and all that. Similar to how the fabric of a drum has vibrational modes, so does the fabric of reality. Every point in space can wiggle, twist, and oscillate in different ways. A quantum field just represents one of these modes. These wiggles are quantized. They come in discrete packets of energy that can move around, and those are the particles of the field. One special type of field is the gauge field. These arise from the fact that physics often doesn't care what coordinate system you use. The laws of physics are symmetric under certain transformations. For example, physics works the same no matter where you decide to center your XYZ axes, or where you put the 0 point of your angles in polar coordinates. We saw in our episode on Noether's theorem that these symmetries lead to conservation laws. In quantum mechanics, this sort of redundant degree of freedom leads to a gauge field. We've seen an example of this. The exact phase of the quantum wave function from one point in space to the next, local phase, doesn't affect measurable quantities, only relative phase matters. When we enforce this requirement, we find that we have to add a new quantum field to the Schrödinger equation that lets the universe counteract these phase shifts. That gauge field turns out to be electromagnetism, and oscillations in this field are the photon, our first gauge boson and carrier of the electromagnetic force. So, one of the fundamental forces arises from a symmetry of nature, in this case the fact that the laws of physics are invariant under changes of local phase. The set of transformations that can change local phase are an example of a symmetry group, in this case unitary group 1 or U1. These transformations can be represented with just one number, in this case rotation of a phase angle vector of unit length. See this episode for all of the nitty-gritty. This is just a refresher. In the next episode, we tried the same trick to explain the weak interaction as arising from symmetries. We saw that we could invent a pair of totally abstract degrees of freedom and demand that the universe be invariant to transformations of these. We call this symmetry group SU2 for reasons. That requirement gave us a new gauge field that had 3 force carriers that look awfully like the weak force bosons. So far, so good, except that the predicted particles are massless, while the real weak force bosons are, as I mentioned, pretty hefty. And that is a huge deal breaker, actually. Massive bosons break gauge symmetries. According to something called Goldstone's theorem, all gauge bosons are massless. So far, so bad. But we're going to forge on anyway and hope that this all gets sorted out. Another problem with this first pass at the weak force is that it has absolutely no connection to electromagnetism. Its bosons do have properties that look like weak isospin and weak hypercharge, but no electric charge. In our universe, these three quantities are sort of locked together, only taking on certain values relative to each other. To see if we can duplicate that in our theory, we need to combine the U1 and the SU2 symmetries so that they all apply at the same time. We call this combined
Not to be mean, but this is why I'm stupid when it actually comes to this shit. I can't explain none of this. I get the concept.
There's a lot going on.
It is.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I always say, like, I can get the concept of what these people talk about, but to know all these numbers and stats, I don't know if I can, dude.
But you gotta also think about like how your unconscious mind processes this shit over time too, and then like your pathways get more refined.
Yeah,
and
maybe
so
I'll
on
learn
and so
it better long term, like later in life. Maybe I'll understand it better, but man, like I'm saying, to truly understand like these people do, I don't know, man. This guy's not even like the actual scientist guys. He's a different kind of probably science guy, you know, or whatever you want to call it. But just saying, it's crazy.
symmetry group, U1 cross SU2. The resulting gauge field still has bosons that look a bit like the photon and the 3 weak force bosons, but the latter are still massless, and the resulting charges are completely unconnected to each other. They're all free to be whatever they want, unlike the real universe where isospin and hypercharge are tightly coupled, and their combination defines electric charge. So is it time to give up on this symmetry stuff? Well, there's one more long-shot clue. I said that massive bosons break the gauge symmetry, but what if that's okay? We've also talked about the idea of symmetry breaking before.
I want to say Tim. I'm Jack Black. Oh, that's it. Yeah. I'm not Jack Black.
Using this example of a bunch of bar magnets. These magnets have high temperature, which makes them move randomly. But as the system cools down, this random thermal motion gets overpowered by the magnetic interaction, and they all end up aligning. The equations of magnetism don't start out with a preferred orientation, but in certain conditions, namely cold ones, the system chooses a preferred direction. This is an example of spontaneous symmetry breaking. So if a bunch of magnets can live in a state that violates the symmetries of their ruling equations, maybe the universe can too. Here's another analogy. Consider a ball rolling back and forth in a valley. The equations describing its motion are symmetric between left and right because the valley is symmetric. Now imagine it wasn't one valley, but 2 valleys with a hill in the middle. The system is still symmetric, but if the ball starts at the top of the hill, it will randomly roll down into one of the valleys. Now the current state of the system has a broken symmetry, even if the symmetry of the landscape remains. Let's see if we can break the symmetries of the universe in a similar way. The equivalent of the simple valley does exist. A quantum field can oscillate around some 0-point value like a ball rolling back and forth in the valley. The walls of the valley are just the potential energy, the energy stored when the field moves away from the 0 point, trying to pull it back to the center. Graphing this, the vertical represents potential energy and the horizontal represents the field strength. Particles of the field are just oscillations of its field strength across the lowest point, where the field strength is 0. But if there are no particles around and the field just sits at the lowest point, we call that the vacuum state. Easy stuff, right? In that case, you won't mind seeing the math. Okay, don't freak out. It's not on the test. This is a Lagrangian, something we've covered before. It's really just the difference between the kinetic energy and the potential energy in the field. Our plot was of the potential energy part. This particular Lagrangian describes a simple quantum field made of massive particles which interact with each other. Let me talk you through the hieroglyphics. Firstly, phi is the quantum field itself. It just means there's a numerical strength of the field everywhere in space. The potential energy part is the shape of the
See,
field.
I feel like this
And it's
stuff's
made
not
of
as
various
complicated as we think. Like I'm telling you, like I just don't like this guy's just trying to say like, hey, this is just this, and like you know, like you need people to
these
break
numbers,
this shit down.
you would, yeah, but I'm saying to memorize this formula.
Oh, to memorize,
and then to be able to explain like, well, this is what this is, 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 this, and why it all formulates to be the answer that we're gonna get to with the, you know, whatever, you know, like.
See, you already understand how it works and how it should work, so I'm just fucking saying.
That's what I'm saying. I get the concept, but to actually understand, like truly, I'm saying that's why I'm. That's why
takes time.
Maybe, man, I had to take.
Yes, takes time. Not maybe. Yes.
I had to take.
Stop saying maybe. Stop saying maybe.
It's maybe, baby.
Powers of the field strength, representing ways that the field's particles can interact. For example, this phi to the power of 4 term says that the particles of the field interact with particles of the same field with strength lambda. This phi squared term represents the field interacting with itself. That self-interaction is what leads to the property of mass. Gauge fields shouldn't interact with themselves, so shouldn't have a phi squared term. And that means this probably isn't a gauge field. The gauge field is a thing that comes from the degrees of freedom within this field. This particular Lagrangian has the simple symmetry that it's the same if you reflect it around the y-axis. If we complicate things by adding a second field component, phi 1 and phi 2, we get a parabolic bowl. If the current state of the field is at the bottom of the dip, then it has a single continuous degree of freedom in that you can rotate this thing and nothing changes. That would be a global U1 symmetry. Repeating our electromagnetism trick means requiring local U1 invariance. We need the laws of physics to still make sense if there are rotations from one point in space to the next. That means adding a new gauge field to the Lagrangian that allows the angle of this rotational degree of freedom to vary. Oscillations in that field would be a gauge boson. You can think about those oscillations as the angle twirling around freely, and it doesn't need any minimum energy to oscillate, so the gauge boson is massless. On the other hand, the particle of the original field needs a rest mass energy to be able to oscillate up and down the potential walls. So while this potential has its own massive particles, it doesn't give us massive gauge bosons. Let's make a slight change. We're going to switch the sign in front of the mass term. Then the potential would change to this, just like the two valleys we saw earlier, but now the second field component gives us this 3D shape. It's called a Mexican hat potential. This potential shape is the heart of the Higgs field. It's still a symmetric potential. It has the same global U1 symmetry as the original, but if the universe suddenly transitions from the old potential to this one, then we have a problem. The field's strength would find itself at the top of the little hill, but then quickly roll down in a random direction. The new state of the field would not be symmetric to the same rotations because different points around this valley correspond to different physical states. We say that the symmetry is spontaneously broken. The current state of the field is a state of broken symmetry, even if the global field shape keeps its old symmetry. This is just like how the field of magnets can be in a state of broken symmetry, even though the overall equations of magnetism have not changed. The transition from the central bump to the valley is an example of vacuum decay, and we saw how this can lead to the creation of cosmic strings in a recent episode. But cosmic strings are perhaps the least interesting part of this process. Once the field has reached the base of this new minimum, we have a new stable vacuum state. But this state is very different from the original for two reasons. The first is that the lowest energy state, the vacuum state, isn't where the field strength itself is zero. So this is called a non-zero vacuum expectation value. The original massive particles of the field now oscillate in the radial direction, but no longer centered on the zero field value. And this is the Higgs boson. The second weird thing, there's not just a single vacuum state, there's a ring of valid states. The universe will just have chosen one state randomly. But the field can also oscillate along the base of the valley in what we'll call the theta direction. The resulting particle is called a Goldstone boson, and it's massless because the valley is flat. There's no energy differential. However, this is not a gauge boson because location around the valley represents a real physical difference in the field state. Okay, let's bring all of this together. We want to combine the weak and electromagnetic interactions, so we need simultaneous local U1 and SU2 symmetry. Let's just do U1 because that gives us the basic picture. Because the potential is the same all around the valley, it shouldn't be possible to tell where in the valley you are. It matters if two adjacent patches of the universe are in different parts of the valley. The relative difference in the angle theta matters, but exact values don't. So we're going to demand local U1 invariance and come up with a gauge field that shakes out the shifts in our arbitrary choice of the 0 point of the state. But now this gauge field finds itself in a much more complex Lagrangian with this Mexican hat potential. Weird stuff happens when the gauge field couples to the particles of that potential. First of all, we see that the Goldstone bosons, which are just oscillations in the theta angle, can be absorbed into this U1 gauge field. Both are oscillations around the valley. In the Lagrangian, they get lumped together into a single field term that still looks like a gauge field with a single gauge boson. The gauge field sort of eats the Goldstone boson. But when we do this, the new combined field has a field square term in the Lagrangian, which is weird because those are mass terms, except that neither the original gauge boson nor the Goldstone boson that it just ate had any mass. So where does this mass come from? Ultimately, it's because the gauge boson is now anchored to the Higgs field. The Goldstone boson that is now part of the gauge boson is coupled to the Higgs field, and that means that the gauge boson is also so coupled.
This shit's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
And you
it's weird. Like,
and you
I don't know
expect me and even you to understand this truly? That's fucking nuts. Not true.
Oh, I absolutely do. I absolutely do.
I know.
You said that asking this question. Stop fucking doubting.
Oh,
fucking
man.
self-doubt, son of a bitch.
I call her being real, bro. I know.
No,
that phrase. Pick a
You got
lane.
history. That's it. You got to approach experience as if you've never experienced before.
Yeah.
There's
a phrase called pick a lane. I feel like I picked my lane.
Well, if you picked your lane, that's fine. I gotta learn this shit though.
Dude, good luck. I mean, like I said, I get concepts, but like, That big fucking equation you just had, you have to memorize that and know exactly what everything is talking about. Like, it's fucking nuts.
Yeah, I think it's just a thing where you look at the whole thing and then you're like, oh, I'm overwhelmed. But once you break it down and
Sure. I mean,
figure
that
it
is
out
how
one
it
by
happens.
one.
Yeah, for sure. I get that. That is how it be.
That do be how it do.
Mm-hmm.
This happens because of the non-zero vacuum state of the Higgs field. That little bit of Higgsiness everywhere refuses to cancel out in the Lagrangian, giving us our mass term. All of this was a simplified explanation. I know, horrifying, right? Imposing the full electroweak U1 cross SU2 invariance on the true Higgs potential gets you 3 Goldstone bosons that are eaten by 3 of the 4 electroweak gauge bosons. Those gain mass and become our 2 W bosons and 1 Z boson of the weak interaction. The 4th boson manages to escape unscathed and massless, becoming the photon that we know and love. It flew free of its heavier cousins, the independent mediator of a part of the old electroweak field, what we now experience as electromagnetism. While the W and Z slog on through the mire of their coupling with the Higgs field, their mass shortened their lifespans and so enormously reduced their range, weakening the force that they mediate. So that's where we are today. This is the Higgs mechanism. The Higgs field also gives mass to the matter particles, the fermions, but that is for another time. But what about this new measurement of the W boson mass? Well, mass results from interaction with the Higgs field, but also from other subtle interactions that a particle can undergo. The predicted mass of the W boson takes into account all standard model particles that could have a ghostly presence as virtual particles in the energy field of the boson. The fact that Fermilab measured a larger mass than was predicted suggests an unknown particle or particles flickering around the W boson. The discovery of the Higgs boson 10 years ago verified the idea that the underlying symmetries of nature explain and unify some of the forces of nature. Perhaps new particles will lead us to new clues about yet deeper unifying symmetries of space-time. Hey everyone, comments will return next week, but before we go...
Yeah, maybe there's another particle we just can't even find, the smaller little photon. That makes sense.
I don't know. I didn't even pay that much attention to the video because it was super fast.
What? Wasn't that
I paid a
fast?
little bit. I mean, I paid attention, but I didn't like absorb any fucking thing. Because you really have to fucking, God, you gotta fucking pick like one thing and then delve into it and then, all right, yep, I got it, and then move on. And yeah, I mean, I get the whole picture basically. I would say I don't have like the detailed fucking
The outline and everything. Yeah, man, that's tough. That's tough.
I mean, overall, like it's delving into a lot of math and stuff, so, or like not even math, but
Oh, it is a lot of math.
geometry and shit.
Geometry is math. What did the acorn say when it grew up? Geometry.
Is geometry math, or is it just, or wait, don't just say yes. You gotta stop fucking
Because
confidently,
it is.
like, dude, you're too confident. You're too confident. I'm just gonna say it. You're way too
Sometimes.
confident. Way too confident. You gotta practice some humility. You got okay. So you're super humble, and then you're like super confident in every one of your answers. It's fucking weird to me.
On the things I know, because math, because when you take math
Okay.
class as a sophomore, it's
Does
geometry.
math simply describe geometry, or is it, how do you fucking, you know, how is a line math? How is an angle math? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
because it's broke down into
you can
numbers.
describe them mathematically, but that doesn't mean they are math.
I guess. I mean, the sense. I mean, but it can be explained by math, so therefore it's math. And it predicts things, because if you make a building at 90 degrees, I bet it works. If you make it at 87 degrees, I bet it doesn't work. Right?
Okay, so we can say that biology is composed by chemistry, but is it exactly chemistry? No.
No.
But also but it breaks down to chemistry. Now, where does geometry break down to math exactly? Like in all of its parts, every single one of its parts.
I mean, if you want to draw a picture, I guess it would be art, not math. But I mean,
Even if I'm wrong, like I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's considered a branch of mathematics.
Mm-hmm.
Study of shapes, lines. Ask if okay about why geometry is math. See, if you like justification, you gotta justify your beliefs. You gotta justify them all.
Mm-hmm. Spectral relations.
Spatial relationships.
Yeah, it was around before even math. Like with like whatever. Because yeah, we probably had
Like,
shapes. We probably had to figure out like the length,
Yep.
the width, the
Techno-
this, the this, the this.
For engineering, yep. All that shit.
Yeah, that's probably where it actually probably started from. Like we knew that this triangle was a triangle, but we had to figure out like, okay, if we want to fit something inside it, how big does it have to be? And things, you know. I'm guessing that's probably how it started primitively.
My thinking was more like if it's not composed of strictly numbers, then it's not strictly mathematical.
No, I'm saying this shape is a circle by itself. Now it is math because if you needed to find out how the radius and all the shit with it is, you need the math with it, or like this box or any, you know, like these are all just shapes in general until you fucking need to know actual dimensions of the build or whatever.
They have mathematical relations like within them. They have mathematical properties, but see, even ask so like that it even gets into like philosophy of mathematics. Like, what is math? Like, you could say it's the study of numbers, shapes, and other things, other abstract objects. But it's really just splitting hairs.
Mm-hmm. Pythagorean theorem. That's funny how he did it with the boxes.
Oh yeah,
Use the boxes to like block them out, or whatever.
Pythagoras or whatever was a
Pythagorean.
Legit genius. Pythagoras.
Oh, yeah, Pythagoras.
Yeah.
Pythagoras and this Thales.
He was pre Socratic, I think.
Yeah, it's five.
There's a lot like
6 to 500 BC.
Mathematicians fucking went far before philosophy really exploded.
You think so? I mean, philosophy's right here. Plato, right? He's 100 years later.
And went far is what I mean. Yeah.
Well, I'm saying it's about 100,
Yeah.
maybe.
And they discovered, they fucking discovered irrational numbers before fucking Plato or Aristotle arrived on the scene.
Did they?
There's Euclid.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
right
here.
there.
Yeah, I see right here. Irrational numbers.
Yeah. Like pi, you know, pi is an irrational number.
Yep.
Cannot be expressed in terms of a fraction.
A trisect of angles. Okay. The compass and ruler, protector. The Ptolemaic method. Started here, I'm assuming.
Oh, that fifth one there is actually one that was overlooked and like had people scratching their heads. If two straight lines in a plane are crossed by another straight line called the transversal, and the interior angles between the two lines in the transversal, what exactly is a transversal?
Lying.
And the interior angles between the two lines and the transversal line on one side of the transversal add up to less than 2 right angles. And that side of the dude, that's fucking so complicated. The two lines extended will intersect.
Hold on.
Yeah, I like watched the video on that one.
I don't see transversal to make it blue where I can.
Oh,
learn
I was
what
looking
it
at
is.
the Archimede or Euclid, the Euclid.
No, this I know you were.
'Cause, yeah,
I was saying, what's this
yeah.
word? What does transversal mean?
I guess it's something that moves across regions or something.
Hold on.
Transversal line, I guess. An intersecting system of lines.
A line that passes through two lines.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
Pass
I
through
see what
two
it
lines
means.
the same
interior
point.
angles between the two lines.
Like that, can you
Yeah,
see
so
it?
it's like a. Yeah, I know what it means. Yeah.
Hmm. Ah, hell. All right, I'm probably gonna head to bed soon.
Okay, so like almost nobody else other than like a few people I know like accept the Myers-Briggs type indicator personality thing. But okay, so you're more of a judging type. So like you take your pooled knowledge and you're like, yes, like you come to an immediate answer. I'm more of like a prospecting type. This doesn't mean that it's one's better than the other or anything, but that's just like a difference. Like I take more time to establish whether something is true or false.
Well, I tend to lean with the consensus science, but
That's
a lot of it's hard to
TE.
fucking.
That's extroverted thinking, whereas I'm an introverted thinker. So like, yeah. So I guess that would probably be one of our main differences. Is I'm a TI user, you're a TE user. I build my own private systems.
I mean, I would argue that
Einstein was a TI
when you're
user.
thinking that way, that's the me versus the we, though. I trust the we.
I look at trusting the we as the fallacy of appeal to authority.
It can be. And maybe it is somewhat, but I'm saying that if people do hundreds and thousands of studies on it and they usually come to the same conclusion, I'm going to trust those conclusions. That's probably more correct than not.
All right. See, efficiency. That's your focus. Efficiency. I'm more focused on. What am I focused on? Trying to find new things. That's my main thing. Is trying to find new knowledge.
See, my thinking is, in a
Extroverted
sense,
intuition.
why find new knowledge when you already have an infinite amount of things to learn that we already know? Like, the knowledge is out there.
Because it's fun for me.
I understand. I'm just saying, in general, there's an infinite amount of things already to know. There's so many books that I haven't read or listened to audiobook or whatever you want to call it.
See,
same
when
as like
you
video
only
games.
listen, when you just have faith that somebody is right, like that is to be.
Well, it's got to be
that's
demonstrable.
Like discard. That's the discard epistemology, essentially.
Well, maybe, but if it's demonstrable, if people can demonstrate it over and over, why wouldn't you trust it?
Well, sure, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying like I don't trust anybody. I would just add that to my private system,
Sure. I don't know.
That's some different ways that personality can differ. So when I talk about spectrums that people lie upon.
Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, nobody's gonna be the same. Well, not nobody, but
that's just like extroverted thinking versus introverted thinking.
Yeah, maybe.
Extroverted includes it's more authority based and focused and like or a consensus or like. So yeah, I don't know. It helps you know yourself and be able to know how other people are. If they're extroverted thinkers or introverted thinkers. And then there's a lot of difference. There's 8 different cognitive functions in the. This comes back to Carl Jung actually. He posited these cognitive functions, and then the MBTI people utilized his theory, and he actually hated it. And but it works to a degree. People use it for like employment and shit. Like, and then there's dating sites that use that fucking MBTI system. Yeah, it means Myers-Briggs type indicator. Patrick hasn't delved into it. I don't know. He should, because it really does fucking help you like pin down like what kind of person you're talking to or interacting with.
Yeah, it probably does.
And just it gives you something to describe yourself with that you wouldn't have known before. So like I don't know, like if somebody's got the TI for like a perspective function versus TE for judging function, that's like it's definitely a big difference. Both can be intelligent. They just use that intelligence in different ways, or come to that intelligence or knowledge in different ways.
I guess I would equate it back to going all the way back. That's why people are different. That's why you can't have the same whatever, because we're all built different too. It's part of your genetic code, I suppose.
But it's like spectrum, though. It's spectra.
Yeah, it's a spectrum. Yeah, for sure. It's a spectrum. And also it comes down to, like I said, topics. Like certain topics you might be this, and certain topics you might not be this, or whatever, So I feel like it can be, it's fluid or changes within even the same conversation,
But we do have a lot of the same, or mostly the same fucking basic needs.
Yeah, the basic, yeah, like we all need shelter, we all need food, we all want like basic health, we all want like whatever, like there are some basic things
the people don't fucking pay attention to. That's
True,
like the last
yeah,
thing
people do, that
include.
That goes back to social, yeah, because we're social. We need that. We need socialism, or not socialism, but like socializing in general. Like
we need socialism.
Yeah, right. We're just socializing in general and shit. Like as much as people say they hate people, they still need to hang out with them some.
Yep, everybody needs interaction.
Well, I'm just saying. So there are like a few things. If I were to guess, just off the top of it, I'm gonna guess there's probably like 20 to 25 things that all humans have in common.
A lot of it's functional though, like function and category based. Like even if we don't like the same music or whatever, or, you don't have the exact same music taste or whatever, we both have that need to engage with music or art in some sense.
Art, yeah. I wouldn't say music, even though music is very common, but some people probably don't listen to music. They just watch movies or paint or whatever. But yeah, art of some sort, yes.
Basically,
it gives you expression. You get to express people, and then and as someone that doesn't, like, maybe you can't do it, but you get to witness someone's expressions, and then you get to have a feeling about that expression of whatever, So yeah, that's very
art. Art sort of serves as like a fuel in our thinking, like it gives us like a sort of emotional definition to who we are, like a not logical description or whatever to our processes. Like it gives us momentum that isn't strictly logical. It's like every aspect that there is to ourselves, it seems there's some aesthetic like side to it, something that resonates artistically or relates to an activity that we engage in. Inspires us. Inspiration is fuel.
Give me fuel,
if you
give
don't
me
have
fire.
If you don't have the inspiration or some sort of ideal that you're chasing, or like I wanted to say idol, but that doesn't really make sense. Like a symbol, artistic symbol, or whatever, aesthetic symbol. Like who inspires you when you think about politics, or what inspires you to think about politics or like engage in political discourse?
What inspires is misinformation, and I hate hearing it and seeing it.
So
That's what made me get more into it, I suppose.
So there's like anger element or like not necessarily anger, but like
It could be, I guess, sometimes disappointment.
Sense
I
of
guess.
responsibility.
Well, it's just one of those things. Like if you know something and you see it all around you that people are falling for it, like you should have like a moral obligation or whatever the fuck call it, to stand up or say something. Like
There's
it's kind of Mitch does it to the extreme, but it's like like if somebody's a Nazi, like you should be able to call them. Like you have an obligation to call them out and be like, dude, you're a piece of shit. Like for this, like I said, he takes it to the extreme levels, but it's the same thought process. Like if I see people just lying all day on Facebook or whatever the fuck, like I feel like at one point I just gotta be like, dude, no. Like,
yep, it is, dude. It just does, dude. Seriously, and I hate that I have to fucking comment on friends' posts and be like, "All right, man, you're doing this wrong. There's this, there's that," and then they don't even respond. Like
sometimes my favorite is when they just laugh. I'm like, "Oh, you laugh with nothing to come back."
Yeah.
So I'm telling the truth, huh? Okay.
Yep. I fucking bitch out the laughers. Like, you fucking coward. Like,
that's what I always say. I'm always like, "Oh, so you laugh at it, but you have nothing else to say to disprove it, so therefore it's probably true." Like you just admitted to it, basically.
Yep. Exactly. Dude, it's just what happens when people don't want to be fucking nerds. Dude, like your fucking example was like good, dude, because it's like that's what people do. They don't want to be fucking nerds because they want to get fucking laid, and then they end up being fucking retards.
Yep. Well, yeah, I'm saying if you were to ask, like, if I asked my 13, 14-year-old kid, like, what gets chicks at your school or whatever, I would guarantee, like, oh, the sports players, this, like, and that's going to be instilled in his mind, or, and it keeps going forever. That's culture again. It comes down to how people are raised and thinking versus, like I said, I bet the kid that does the clarinet, I bet he's not banging chicks or getting chicks or whatever at school and whatever, And then you get some red pill fucking dum dum online that tells you, I can help you get chicks and do this, but you have to change who you are. You have to do this. Like I said, then you go back to you're not really your true self at that point anymore. If you actually go through with what the advice that you're taking,
Yep.
No, yeah. If you could blend them and be both, that'd be awesome. That's the best way of doing it. But most people can't.
Yeah.
Most people say if this is the advice, I have to do 100% the way they say it. I can't, whatever, flow with it or whatever you want to call it. Evolve with it.
Yeah. Fluid identity. To wear many hats. That's what we need to do, though. That's where we're fucking retarded.
A lot of it, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I could be judgy as shit, whatever, if I know something. If I don't, like I said, there's times where I just sit back. Like I said earlier today, I just let you and Patrick talk because I don't fucking know much. Like, like I know where to stay in my lane. Like, I'll take my little shots because I know, like, a couple of things that you guys talk about. I'm like, oh, I can add. After that, I'm like, all right, I'll sit back and let you guys go because this is you guys' domain. That's fine. It's one of those things,
I'm not looking up all the shit you're looking up when it comes to politics. Like, I don't have that.
No, and that's fine. That's what. That's my whole point. It's like that's what I'm saying. Like, I can be humility when it's time, and I know when to fucking be flamboyant or out boisterous when it needs to be. Like, I try to be very fluid in how I go, my spectrum, whatever you want to call it. If someone needed to be saved, if it was certain things, I can save them. If it's certain things, I cannot save them. And I understand it's both. Like, I'm not one of those people who go, I would always do this. But like, I don't know. Maybe not. Like, put me in this situation, I probably wouldn't help. In this situation, I'd probably help all the time, but who knows,
Yep.
Meow.
Fuck. I'm fucking tired.
Me too.
You working tomorrow or what?
Nope, I am off tomorrow. I want to go to the zoo in the morning.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Or whatever, like at 10, 11. I have to wait. My girlfriend, she does methadone shit, but she has a clinic at 10. So after her clinic...
Oh,
we're gonna go.
She fucking injects people or whatever? Or fucking...
No,
What does she do
she used to be a heroin addict.
Oh, she was? Okay.
Before I
Damn.
met her. No, when I met her is when she got clean. Like, she was probably clean. She's had for like 6 months when I met her.
She still has to do it? God
She's
damn.
weaning off. It's because it's physically... It's almost as bad as heroin.
I don't even know how it is.
It's basically a heroin light, let's call it, basically. Which is fine.
Yeah.
It's just... She started off... Because she was a really bad addict. She started off really high dosage, so she's been weaning off.
Damn, dude. Good for her, man.
No, it is good. But, you know...
There's a lot of people... Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Well, obviously, a lot of people just abuse it. That's the thing.
Well, it's like...
It's like anything.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like something that it feels better than anything that they've ever fucking felt before.
Heroin,
or whatever.
yeah. Well, usually I think it's just you cope with the pain. It just numbs you.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like most people, they deal with some mental issue, and then fucking, how do you cope with it? You don't feel.
Exactly.
You know. But no.
Yeah, I don't know. I gotta figure out my relationship with weed too, because I gotta fucking.
Don't blame weed.
I gotta go off it long term. I'm like, dude, because if I have a fucking bag of weed, dude, I'm fucking smoking all that 24 fucking 7.
I mean, I get it.
I gotta fucking go a long time without it, and then when it's done, it's fucking crash and burn, fucking depression. It's fucking so rough.
Yeah, I kind of get that.
But even like, so if I were to get like an ounce or something, right?
Uh-huh.
I would essentially normalize, and then like the effect of weed wouldn't even be there. You know, like I wouldn't even be able to fucking feel it. But
yeah. I don't know.
And then once it's gone,
but
there's
again, it's
also,
mental
like,
health, so it's one of those like, you know what? If it helps you mentally, though, it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I'm starting to feel better now. I'm not fucking thinking everybody thinks I'm retarded. As long as I can fucking yell or whatever, get angry or whatever. Not angry, but just fired up.
Yeah, I feel you. I don't give a fuck.
And people don't get fucking mad at me, I'm good.
I don't. That's why you said, like, I'm not trying to be like, dude, yell all you want. I don't give a fuck, dude. Go for it, Tiger. Like, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. That's fine.
I know. But, you know, another thing is, like, I don't know you that well yet. You know what I mean? Like, you're not, like,
a
lifelong friend. Like,
no, I feel you, but I don't get
Mike,
butthurt. I understand you. I understand how it gets, especially if he gets, like, it's a passion to, like, motherfucker, god damn it. You know, like, I get it. It's fine.
Yeah. What time is it?
The thing is also, because what we're talking about, like, especially like philosophy, it's opinion based. So, like, if you have a strong opinion on something, obviously you're gonna get more.
Yeah, I've given a lot of my shit a lot of thought.
I understand. That's why with this shit, I just poke holes and I try to press your thoughts because I don't study. I study it to an extent. Well, I mean, the thing is, kind of, but the thing is, I listen to what you guys say. And, like, there's
process.
And I always give you guys credit and agree when it's time. And I'm like, yeah, I can see that. It makes sense. Blah 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 blah. I just try to play every side. I try to go with the, whatever. Like this what they know.
Yeah. You shouldn't just buy into what people say wholesale. So, like, you have to judge it against your knowledge. There's no other fucking way to.
Well, yeah, obviously. The thing is, even like a conspiracy theorist, that's how they think too. But the problem is their knowledge is stupid. But it's the same thought process.
Exactly.
Like even that's why I was trying. So that's why when I talk to these people, I try to break it down with all like actual evidence because it's like you guys. I'm like, I'm not just saying this. This is like proven, or what do you want to call it? Like, I can show you articles and articles and articles, or documents and documents substantiating what I'm saying. It's not just I'm asking questions or making points. It's like, no, there's a reason why I think and feel this way because I can show you the evidence that goes with what I'm saying.
Yep.
You know. So I think it's a two-pronged system. You got to try to change how people think, but also you need the evidence to back it up.
Oh yeah. Evidence is good. Evidence is first. Empiricism first. I say.
I mean, yeah, if you get it,
And
that's.
I do think empiricism and pragmatism are very closely related as far as.
I think they are similar. Yeah, they're not
Yeah.
exactly one
It's
for one,
'cause-
but they're similar.
Like whatever you you know, like well, it depends on the sphere too.
What?
When it comes to like metaphysics or like philosophy or like even just like theory, it's always like if nothing contradicts it, then I'm gonna fucking chase it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if I find various principles that or whatever that aren't contradicted by established science as far as I know, you know, I'm gonna fucking roll with it. Especially if I put it into Chat GPT, which can fucking find any and all fucking knowledge across the fucking internet, you know, and fucking prove me wrong or prove me right or whatever. But there are people that, you know, use ChatGPT in a fucking retard way, and you just can't do that.
I just don't know how I feel.
You just gotta use it. That's it.
I don't know.
Nothing's perfect. Nothing's perfect. You gotta
I
get over it.
just like
Nothing's
reading
perfect.
fucking 5 different articles and finding out myself instead
Well,
of.
fucking let ChatGPT find articles for you. But then again, you're not much of a like conjecture based person. You're like you go from the bottom up. Whereas like the way that my brain works is like I'm like a troubleshooter basically. I'm like I test shit.
I understand. Yeah, guys.
Idea generator.
I mean, and both are important. The thing is, you should question
Yeah,
it. And the
absolutely.
thing is, even for like the other way, like that's what I'm saying when people want to push back on how I think or feel. I'm like, I like people get mad about it. I'd rather have people push back than just blindly listening or blindly thinking or believing what I think. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
Yep.
I welcome people being like, "You really think that? Why do you think that way?" I'm like, "Oh, dude, let me explain it." You know, blah blah blah. And then explain this. I'm like, okay, I can explain it. Let me show you. You know, like I prefer that instead of fucking people just believing. I guess.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out your personality type with the MBTI thing too. I try to fucking do it with everybody. I don't even know if I have Patrick pinned down yet. I don't know if you would be like an INTJ or if you're more of a sense like extroverted sensing based person. I don't know because you do like sports. And sports seem like that's been a big deal for your whole life, right? So
it was for a long portion of it. So, I mean, I still like
so,
watching it.
Extroverted sensing would be like, you know, you're interacting with shit around you, or you like hard evidence, you know, like shit like that.
I've learned to see, but I used to not be that way. So I always say like, there's a new me and an old me. That's why, and that's why I don't know how. Like, I guess that's why I always say I'm a blend because I understand how I used to think and now how I kind of tend to think now, and they conflict sometimes.
Yeah, I'll try to figure it out. I'm fucking cracking your code, man.
Do it, brother.
I don't know. I'm going to fucking bed, dude.
All right, my brother.
I'll
Me
see
too,
you
probably.
All right, man.
Peace out.
Peace.